Yes.
Yeah, good evening, Kenyans. Tonight we are back live on Tembei TV. Your host is Wekesa Eric, and I'm here with guest Dr. David Matsanga. He's not new to Kenyans, he's not new to Kenyan politics. And today we want to have a state of the nation, delve into a few issues that are affecting our current political environment. And as you can see on our screen, there are a few taglines scrolling. One is the US trip, and then the ICC question, and then the 2022 race. So our guest is a renowned figure in this nation and is acquainted with Kenyan politics, and he will converse through various issues so that we can have a grasp of what is happening. I know he has quite a number of followers who understands what his stand is on some of these issues, so he will help us to understand most of what is happening around. So, Dr. David Matsanga,
Yes.
most people, I know there are Kenyans who know you, but some Kenyans don't know you. So it's good to introduce yourself so that they can understand who is this man speaking to us. The floor
Thank you.
is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Wekesa. And thank you very much, Mutembei TV, for this interview. I am Dr. David Nyekora Matsanga. I was born in Uganda sometime in 1950s. I have been on this earth. When independence in Kenya came, I was a grown up, a bit grown up and understanding fellow. In Uganda the same. Born in Uganda, grew up in Uganda, went to primary school in Uganda, to senior secondary school, A-levels, left Uganda in 1978, 77 to go and join the liberation forces of Tanzania to fight against Idi Amin. Came back to Uganda and then became a person in the President Milton Obote's government during the Uganda elections of 1980, the first time in my life that I voted, because I had not voted when the military coup took place. I was going to senior secondary school in senior one in 1971. I grew up, educated myself in Uganda, but after that I came back. We were in power 1985, July 1985, 27th, Saturday, 10 o'clock. We were overthrown by our own generals, and I fled, left Uganda together with President Milton Obote the late. I came to Kenya, Busia border, and Kagamega Buhungu Stadium, where we stayed. We are disarmed and left us, taken back to a house called someplace called Cannon House, which was a refugee house. I did not apply for asylum in Kenya. I went straight. Moi removed us, deported us, removed us from Kenya in 1985, threw the late president out of this country, put us on a cargo plane. Some of us withdrew from this, disembarked from Tanzania in Dar es Salaam. We came back. I went to United Kingdom in 1987. It is where I am, where I studied political science, international relations, up to the level where I am today. I still stay in the United Kingdom, but I work in Kenya, and that is all I can tell you. And I am an East African, an African, a real Ugandan, a Uganda, wow.
Thank you so much for that rich background. It
I was
seems you have gone.
Maybe people want to know. I was the chief negotiator of the Uganda peace talks in Juba, a leader of the chief of the negotiating team, because the RRA team could not come on table. So the United Nations, European Union, African Union, the rebels are asking me to be their chief negotiator. And they agreed, because I'm the only one who is not corrupted. And I brought peace. We signed an agreement, 5 agreements, which we signed. That is why you see Northern Uganda is peaceful. It is from Northern Uganda in Juba that I got this thing, redemption strategy, Wekesa. You will see that I've been talking about redemption strategy, redemption every time, like 2,000 times since I came to Kenya. I'm the one who introduced redemption strategy in Northern Uganda. That's why it is peaceful today.
Yeah, thank you so much for that rich background. Now, drawing the parallels from your political years and challenges you've gone through, can we then compare what you've gone through and what the deputy president and his team are going through? Can we say they are really suffering the way he was telling the Western world that he's suffering under the regime of his boss?
What suffering is he talking about? He has not gone to prison. He has not been overthrown. He is not suffering at all. If there is any suffering, it is his own psychological suffering, because he has taken other campaigns, and he did other campaigns against the will of the President of the Republic of Kenya. President Uhuru Kenyatta told him not to do campaigns, and he did campaigns. And I have no regrets for that, because you see, how did I come into the Kenyan scenario? Because maybe we want to tell our people why I came to be in Kenya. And how did I find the Kenyan scenario very peculiar, with very similar to our scenario, that in 2005, Mr. Ocampo, the then prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, came and issued warrants of arrest against the commanders of RRA, and they left one side of the RRA of Uganda. He issued warrants of arrest against the Luos, and they left the Bantu free. That is when I said, is this a court that you can trust? How do you issue warrants against Luo and then leave the Bantu people who are also equally fighting? That is when I picked up the momentum internationally. I raised a red flag about Mr. Ocampo. So when I saw Mr. Ocampo coming to Kenya, I was working as a senior consultant for Sky News in Africa, where I was earning a very good salary, which I don't think any minister in Kenya earns it. Yes. And I was a consultant on Africa, the whole Africa, for Sky News. So these elections of Kenya, we had come here to cover the elections with 6 white people and myself, number 7. I was the head as a consultant to tell them we wanted to interview President Kibaki and the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, so that we can find out how the elections will be. So in that event in 2007, I found myself, the killing started when we are here with the whole team, and the government said we are going to see what has happened in those places, hotspots in the Rift Valley. My team of Sky News, I did not go myself, but my team of Sky News went. We dispatched 2 people on a helicopter because there was not enough space to go into the place. We found the church burning in Eldoret. We found all these things happened. We recorded them. I am one of the few people who has got the what we call the raw videos of the entire thing, what happened. So I came back. Things started getting worse, and nobody was telling the story. But I had known that Ocampo is not a good man. So when I sat in Kenya and I went back to London, I came back to hear when they said there is something, a commission of inquiry or Kofi Annan is coming to put people together. I was very inquisitive. Again, Sky News said, can you go back in Kenya with another team? I came back to Kenya with another team. And then when I saw what triggered me to become very, 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 very disturbed is the envelope. When an envelope was taken away from, instead of handing the envelope to President Kibaki, Mr. Waki handed over the envelope to another entity which had not told him to hand over this envelope. He handed an envelope to a foreign entity called Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan, we didn't know what he was going to use the envelope for. He didn't tell us who were in the names. International agencies, courts don't act that way. That was very strange. So I said, I have the blood of activism. I started making noise. Sky News sacked me. I lost my job. For the first time when they saw me taking a side on the Kenyan situation by saying, no, Ocampo messed us in Uganda. Ocampo is going to mess Kenya if I don't stand up. And I think the rest of you, your viewers on the TV, will see that I was indeed one of the few people who stood up in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2000 up to 2015. Isn't it? Didn't you see me, Wekesa? We have exchanged blows, intellectual blows on Facebook with you several times over these cases. And that's how I came to get now closer to knowing the truth that then G was here had actually tampered with collection of evidence, which I filed. I raised a red flag. The rest is history. You can see it as it is today. So the deputy president.
Okay, so the Kenyans are asking, where is your stand on the ICC question as far as the remaining part of the case is concerned?
I don't like ICC, but there is now a problem. I also equally don't like RUTO's behavior. I have to be very frank with you. I don't know whether your viewers will like it or not, but since I struggled, I wanted to bring this background so that you know, Wekesa, some people, you people might think that I must be the richest man in Kenya, is it? I must be well paid. I must have been paid. There was nothing from RUTO to say thank you. Even a cup of tea like this. No. I want to take the opportunity to thank President Uhuru Kenyatta. He did not bring me anything big. He said, you are my brother. You stood by us. Thank you. Is that not enough for you? The whole president said thank you to you. Is that not enough? Are you not, can't you be happy? I was happy. I was very happy. But RUTO has never said thank you to me. Now you people who say RUTO, why Matsanga? I can't say RUTO is a very good man. No way. Can you say so? Can you say so? After I've removed, I went back to the ICC. I sold my car, my cars, one logbook to Omatangi, senator of Kiambu, to get a ticket to go and fight Ruru 68. You saw me on TV, Wekesa. Was I not fighting with Gladwell Otieno? And they took me to Dutch police with Sankok that we had detached some white woman, the breasts, because we were fighting for RUTO on Ruru 68. That guy with white lips could have gone to jail. He would have gone to jail. Then when I come back, you don't even say thank you. You glorify the people who wanted you to go to Hague and be in prison. Hassan Omar, Moses Kuria, David Indi. You know what David Ndii was doing? David Ndii was the PA of Mutunga, Justice Mutunga. I met them in The Hague with Fatou Bensouda in a Chinese restaurant. What were they doing? They were plotting to imprison Uhuru Kenyatta. So you want me to tell everything I can tell you until it will shock your viewers. So I know quite a lot about ICC. But now, if you want to ask me about the current situation, is it what you want to know? About Article 70 of the Roma Statute. Article 70 of the Roma Statute.
Let me narrow down to what you are saying on one of the social media. You said that the deputy president was mentioned 67 times in the current ongoing ICC hearings. What's your take on that?
He will be jailed. You want my candid talk? He will be jailed. If the case convicts if they convict Paul Chichero, RUTO will be jailed. Because they will come back for accomplices. Isn't it? If the case against Paul Chichero succeeds, which is very, very 96%, it will succeed. Article 70 is very dangerous. Can I tell you what it means? Perjury, obstruction, the cause of justice, tampering, bribery of witnesses. You are not now dealing with the state. You are not on the state. You are not a state party versus ICC. Kenya situation. No, you have committed a crime against Justice Kome's court. So Justice Kome issues a warrant of arrest for you, not a summons. Are you clear now, Wekesa? The product of what is in policy.
So let me ask you, tying this to what you are saying, when Atwoli said that some names will not be on the ballot, was it related to ICC or what?
Yeah, most likely, because there will be warrants of arrest, fresh ones, east or west. Whether you go to Jerusalem, whether you go to enter Gabriel, there will be warrants of arrest. If the case of Paulo Chichero succeeds and he is convicted, bet 99.9% they will issue warrants of arrest for those whose names, whose evidence is overwhelming that they took the money and they gave to people. Are we clear there? And it is not a summons.
Yeah, there we are clear. Let me bring in another angle. Let me play this short clip and then ask you a question related to what viewers have.
I'm a Catholic, and I see no problem in enjoying my music and also being a Catholic. Shida iko wapi jameni? Kama mimi napenda muziki wangu na ngoma yangu, na mimi sikuulizi ukitaka kuimba hallelujah from morning to evening, mimi nakupigia makofi. Mimi nikigawanya nafasi yangu niseme hallelujah, nitafanya Monday na Sunday lakini Friday na Saturday nataka kusikia ingine. Sasa shida iko wapi?
Now, this is what I wanted to bring in. I think there are viewers who are talking about the issue to do with the Ruto is a God-fearing man, so those issues you are talking about, ICC, God will intervene. So, what is the aspect of uh, morality and okay, religion versus politics? You see, Uhuru is trying to kind of tell us that for him, he balances. There is a place for spirituality. There's a place for his personal entertainment, and there's a place for politics. What is your view? Because I know even in the runners up to ICC cases 2012, there 2013, there was this issue of the guys who are coming together to be prayed for so that they don't go to ICC. See Uchawi ni Maombi, you remember that tagline. What is your take on how we are mixing politics and religion? Are we doing a cover-up? Or are we taking advantage of Kenyans that they are spiritual, and so we can float in any spiritual phrase to sanctify our own misdeeds?
It is a very sorry state that Kenya has become an experiment of evangelical Christianity. Evangelical Christianity is commercialized. It's a commercial religious movement. It's no longer a spiritual movement. Show me. Why is it that every time in Nairobi you find bishops cutting their hair, dyeing their hair? Have you noticed that, Mr. Wekesa? You're a journalist. You must be walking slowly, slowly. Go to the saloons on Friday. All bishops who preach to us on these television stations, they are in the saloon, making sure that they are in shops buying suits. You know, did Jesus tell us to do that? Did Jesus tell us to be commercial? We have commercialized the religion. We are buying plots. We are competing. We are creating shops, malls. We are trading from the money that people give voluntarily from their will. We have turned churches into commercial entities, which Jesus, when he entered Jerusalem with a whip, removed the people from my father's house. Those who were there. You remember the last job that Jesus did on earth before he was killed. We are in the period of Lent. We better speak the truth. Our religion in Kenya and Africa is commercialized. It's not only in Kenya. In the entire Africa, the entire Uganda is commercial. Bishops fight over plots. Bishops fight over shops, malls, helicopters. They are preaching us. That is the type of religion RUTO is involved in. RUTO has just gone to America to collect money from evangelical churches. You wanted a bombshell. You want it. Do you want more? Do you want more, Wekesa? Tell me.
Yeah, just hold on there. When you are talking about evangelicals, I remember in 2020 where there was a election for Trump and Biden, and the evangelicals were telling Trump how God has chosen him and he's going to win election. What is your take on the prophecies and the elections?
So we have. Are you now saying that instead of being spiritual, we have become speculators on stock exchange market? Are you with me? We have put our churches in trading, in bells, in Wall Street, in London Stock Exchange. Soon bishops in Kenya will put their churches on Nairobi Stock Exchange. Am I wrong? Is that the religion that you want to bring in this country? That's what Ruto's wife, in fact, it's Ruto's wife who is more connected to evangelical, who pulls the husband. This visa was restrictive. Mwambieni wa Kenya, Nyenye, you keep quiet. This is the visa. You have seen the shame. The shame we are getting. You Kenyans, are you not ashamed for a deputy president to lie that he was in the White House when he was not there? Are you not ashamed? Have you seen the statement from the White House? Have you? Wekesa, did you see the statement? Yes or no?
I neither have seen the statement, neither have I seen the official photos.
No, it is there. Go to the Star newspaper. They have published it now online. They have published the official statement from White House saying it was not there. He was not scheduled to be met by anybody. You see what RUTO and what they are doing, the media group of Mr. RUTO are doing is simple. They are doing very dangerous game which can land them in prison in the US. You can't lie. When you have gone to a next building, then you say you have gone to White House. When you have gone to State Department, then you say you have gone to White House. When you have gone to Pentagon, then you say you have gone to White House. You can pay as a visitor, as a tourist, on tour of State House, $99. Because have you ever been to US? I've been to US several times.
I will be honest, I've never been there.
Okay, I've been to US.
And maybe even as you delve on that, you need to tell us exactly, Kenyans, what do you think was the purpose of that tour, and what did they intend to achieve?
The tour is to collect money from evangelical churches, to convince evangelical churches that we shall win elections in Kenya. That's one. Two, the tour was to sign an agreement between George Soros, Mudavadi, and RUTO. Mudavadi, remember, Barack Muruka and Ewaro, you are a Kenyan, you are a politician, you're on social media. Didn't you see Ewaro and Barack Muruka resign from ANC? What was the reason? It's money. They went to US for 2 months. Didn't you see them there? Were they not calling us from US? When they came back, what did they say? They sat for a few minutes. The first bunch of money which made Mudavadi buy. Did you see Mudavadi parade his new cars for campaign? It was taken over by Mama Tessie. Is it Tessie? So they said, Barack Muruka can tell you the story why he resigned from ANC. Why do you want to ask Matsanga, you a Gentile? I'm a Gentile preaching to the Jews, Mr. Wekes. Fortunately, it is only you who is my relative, who comes from Butiru and Agwagwala, but by your name, who can be happy with me, because I'm your cousin. But I am a Gentile preaching to the Jews. Do you remember the letter of Paul to Philippians chapter 3, chapter 4? That perhaps there will come a time when there will be other people. But this is what I'm saying to you, Jews. This is what the Spirit of God says. So I'm telling you, RUTO's going to America was not official. It's turning out to be an embarrassment to the state of Republic of Kenya. Every place people are saying it is not the one. They first started with motorcade. They brought Obama's motorcade. I think you saw that. I don't know whether Wekesa you want to say it is a lie. They drew pictures of the motorcade. While they were doing that, on RUTO's WhatsApp, on RUTO's Twitter handle, which is verified, there was no picture that RUTO was driving in any of those cars. He was driving in a normal Mercedes, which Matsanga bought 10 years ago.
Let's see what was happening, and then let me hear your comment.
Those are the cars now.
I'm the president of Loyola University, Maryland. Welcome. Thank you very much. Pleasure to have you here.
And would you also please serving as since then, it has freedom. And so we will agree.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you are talking about those cars, yes?
You have brought a different set of cars. Your producer should bring another set of cars that originally supplied to us in Kenya with the flag of the president and the flag of the United States, which were Kenyatta's car. So someone in the communication department of RUTO is playing with the brains of Kenyans. We don't mind RUTO going anywhere, but for him to come in these cars, these are now the official cars that have been given to RUTO in the United States. But someone went and drew pictures and tell, look, and put every computer-generated cars, motorcade of Obama, until I went back and I and Kimtai, we went back and brought those pictures and said, Wekesa, you also saw, we gave you the pictures. You must have seen some of them. Said, hey, this year there is a problem here. Then they removed that. Now today they came with a lie that they went to White House to see who. Can't we see the pictures of Kamala, Harris Kamala? Where are the pictures? Can't we be seen? How can you go to State House as if you are stealing a thief? You without the pictures coming from State House, you meeting White House. You are not meeting anybody in the White House.
So my big question is that PR working or working against it?
It is not working at all. It is embarrassing a country called Kenya. And I'm so shocked about a man called Mohammed Hussein, whom I thought was a journalist, with decorum. How do you tell a lie of that nature? And yet people within the delegation itself are telling us different things, my brother. We have people in the delegation who are talking to us by phone. They say, we are not even there. We have not seen anybody. We got a restrictive visa. Do you know what a restrictive visa is? Can I explain to Kenyans what a restrictive visa is? A restrictive visa
Kindly.
is a visa that tells you, Dr. David Matsanga, you will arrive in Johannesburg, you go to Pretoria in the Union Building, meet Ramaphosa, after that return to Sheraton Hotel nearby in Pretoria, rest for 2 hours. Tomorrow in the morning, meet the Minister of Foreign Affairs of South Africa, and after that, you go back to the airport and return to your country. Whereas a tourist visa of giving you 6 months or 5 years to go to United States is open. You can reach Washington D.C. Airport or JF Kennedy Airport. You disappear wherever you want. You can go to Alaska, up north near Canada border. You can die yourself in ice. You can sink in ice. You can play in Arizona. You can play with the animals anywhere. You can look for the biggest cobra snakes anywhere you want. So RUTO did not receive that visa. In fact, I wish they gave him the tourist visa because it would allow him to see some people. But he's a diplomat who came out. If you look at the gate, I have gone to Washington several times. The gate that RUTO came out is common person, common man, ordinary. An ordinary citizen of America is not a diplomatic. No. Jamen, tuambiane ukweli, jamen. That is not an ordinary, a real diplomatic welcome. It means this is ordinary visa, not a diplomatic visa. Compare that with what RUTO will receive in Doha. When he arrives in Qatar, there will be a red carpet because the Qatar visa is not restrictive. The Qatar visa is not restrictive. It is not a visa which is restrictive. The Qatar visa is open visa where we stay for 4 days. The American visa is a restrictive visa. The British visa is restrictive. When you arrive in London, you're gonna meet the Archbishop of Canterbury in Lambeth House, Palace, come back, address people in Chatham House, meet 1 or 2 people, go home. It's a restrictive visa. There's a difference between that and a diplomatic visa, which allows you to go free and go and do your things. So that is the basis of lies. In short, the communication strategy of RUTO is falling to pieces. I think even Itumbi was doing it better because at least we knew with Itumbi was a liar and is a liar. We know him. When he lies, we know he has lied. But now with Mohammed Hussein, whatever name, Mohammed Hussein or something like that, he's lying and he's killing his profession. After this, maybe he will be employed in RUTO's office. No journalist will believe him at all. Because if you are not in the White House and the White House issues a statement to say there is no schedule of a deputy president of Republic of Kenya to visit here, it is in the Star newspaper. I think by now your production man has sent it under there. You are hiding it under there, Mr. Wekes. Anything?
Thank you. Let's listen to this part. Let's listen to this part, and then you can comment on it.
We do not have an opposition. There is a mongrel of an organization. Nobody knows what the hell it is. People don't know whether we have the opposition in government or the government in the opposition. It's quite a maybe scientists, maybe policymakers in this great institution in Carnegie could do research on what is going on in Kenya. Because for all intents and purposes, the opposition is running government and government is running the opposition, which is quite a situation.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
His picture is still there. Can I talk with his picture there? I don't like seeing the picture.
No, it was hanging, sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, you see a confused man. The DP is confused. The plane that he used was paid by the same government. And it is the same government is calling is a mongrel. He's confused. In normal morality, if you have morals, if you find that the government is confused, you resign. Why is the DP not resigning? Why is he still sticking and using 170 million Kenya shillings, 1.7 $1,700,000, $7,000, $1.007. Actually, $1.7 million, yes, of taxpayers' money. Why? Why has he used that money to go to US with this delegation if the government is confused? You should have just resigned from this government if you don't know what it is. And yet you are drawing the salaries, yet you are using the bodyguards, yet you are doing the cooks, yet you are sleeping in their house. Is that good politics? Is that good politics in Africa? Do we as Africans take on that type of politics? What about the children watching us? That a DP goes to a foreign land and opens up his mouth in a place where they know the truth about him, that he is much. If you Google right now, Google, who is the most corruption in Kenya, whose name will come up? Not Matsanga, because I don't have anything. Sorry. I don't have any corrupted thing that I've taken from Kenyans. I don't do business with the Kenya government. Never. Never. Because I knew if I had to do business, by now Wekesa would have wrestled me down on that. I don't. I earn what I have, what I've worked for 37 years in exile in London, washing my trains while studying, having a nightclub of my own in London, employing Professor Wachikoya as a bouncer. He can tell you, he will not say he was not my bouncer. He was my bouncer. On my nightclub, I was paying him 250 pounds per week, which enabled him to go to school together with me in the same train in the morning. And we come back to bounce our nightclub, mine, at night. I have contributed immensely to his life. He was actually digging graves in Camden town. I removed him. I said, an African man cannot dig graves. When I'm seeing, I felt tears. I said, let's go. So for me, I've done my best.
Okay, before you move away from that, you have said that you have contributed immensely to the life of Professor Wachakoya.
Yes.
He holds a very extreme political view that if he is elected, he will bring the bang in this country. What is your take on that?
He's my son, my younger man. I'll talk to him. I've talked to him several times, but he has a mind. He respects me. He will not tell you Matsanga did not give me money to go to school. I did. In London. In my nightclub. It is called Club 791. Ask anybody. They will tell you that is Matsanga's club. This is 1997, 1998. When I was employing people, I brought Wachikoya. But if he has become radicalized to bring a bang, you can't bring a bang in a state which is confused like this one. People where even policemen just wake up with guns and shoot their wives and shoot themselves. You can't add on more injury workers. That policy cannot work here in Africa. Even in civilized countries like Britain, where he holds a British passport, he cannot suggest of bringing bank, legalizing it. He will be put in jail. He's saying it about it here now, but he can't go to United Kingdom. And what Chikoya says, ask him if he can say that in the national television in the UK. By the time he gets out, police will be standing outside to question him how he wants to bring a bank.
Okay, then let me also ask you on the perspective of the change of or what the politician, what we call double speak. Let you see this perspective of our DP.
Few moments later.
The biggest issue that is on the ballot is the democracy of our nation and whether we truly have the opportunity to make free choices devoid of blackmail, threats, and intimidation. That's a matter.
Mimi ninakaa mtu ya kunyang'anywa kweli? Nyinyi mkiniona mimi ni mtu ya kunyang'anywa kura.
Few moments later.
The biggest issue that is on the ballot is the democracy of our nation and whether we truly have the opportunity to make free choices devoid of blackmail, threats, and intimidation.
So what is going on?
You see, I think the best question you should ask me, Dr. Matsanga, is there an election in Kenya or a war field? Wekesa, we come from a tribe that speaks its mind out without fear or favor. Our tribe, I'm a Mugisu by tribe, where you originate from, all of you. Before you do any circumcision period or anything, you come to us to ask for permission from my clan. Look at my eyes and my head and my hands. I'm from Umukuka's clan. Have you seen the hands? I speak like Umukuka. I want to tell you frankly, there is no elections. It's a war. If I were Wafula Chebukata, who is your relative, maybe you come from Bungoma, I don't know. You can meet on one of these days in the Bungoma club while having a drink. Tell him, just tell the world, this is not an election. If I tell you the story about this, you have seen me write about it. You thought it was a joke. I will not speak about it. There's no election here, Mr. Wekesa. Hakuna. You know why?
Yeah, explain further. Kenyans are listening. Explain further.
Everything is half. You know, up to now, you have not cleaned your register. By law of Kenya, the register is supposed to be cleaned how many months? How many months? 6 months. Now you have gone to how many months? 6 months, isn't it? The Constitutional Republic of Kenya is here. I went to school, not these schools of United States where people buy degrees. I went to United Kingdom where you have a reference number as an education. That's your number. You punch if I give you my number, you will punch it and it will show you what I've done. 6 months before Wekesa, before elections, you must have a clean register. That register is missing. Petier, can I use the word petier? The rules will understand. Petier. Hakuna.
Elaborate, huh? Explain.
Petier means nothing. Hakuna. There is no register clean. We don't know where they are ghosting voters. You don't know. Now, another mistake.
That reminds me there is a number, I think 549. It has something to do with confirming if you are in any of the party register. And most Kenyans find themselves in one or two parties. Exactly. And it hasn't been cleaned, and we are going to nomination. So what will happen? It's a total mess.
It's a total mess. An election where a parliament, let's finish the election first. You go and apply, make an application for ballot papers to be printed. How do you know the number of voters for you to print the papers? You go and get a company. By the way, Wekesa, Kenyans need to know this. Do you know the man who got the company that came, who brought the Greek company? How did we end up in Greece? A country. Greece, a country. with hyperinflation of 4,000%, that if Matsanga lands in Athens with my money, which I always, when I'm traveling, I carry $10,000. If I land with $10,000, why? My brother works in Athens. The Prime Minister of Greece will know I'm around because it is not there. Now you go and print your papers, your ballot papers, in a country which is bankrupt. Given the way RUTO operates, don't you think RUTO can print similar ballot papers? 2, who brought a Greek man to introduce them to IEBC? You want me to say the truth here? Do you want the name? Do you know a gentleman by name Dr. Muge?
I've heard of him. Huh?
You heard of him? He's the man behind the money of the boss we have been talking about, who is lying in the United States. That is an evangelical Christian better than Matsanga, who has prayed since 1955. Wachana na hiyo. That he has prayed more than some of us. Huh? Huh? Huyu anacheza na Kenyatta, not us, not me, not for me. And you know, for us Ugandans, Mr. Wekesa, you know, we have a language to deal with such. I don't want to talk Museveni's language.
Yeah, when you talk about you have prayed more than them, I understand. You guys, you are the first martyrs in Uganda.
Yes.
History tells us that.
We prayed, we are killed more than Namugongo. Now RUTO claims to be a bigger prayer than Namugongo Matias. So this is Garcia. You go and print ballot papers in a country that is oversaturated, 4,000% inflation. Dr. Muge is married to a Greek wife. Who is that wife of Dr. Muge? Is she not the daughter of the owner of the printing press? Google the company, the Greek company, and see the scandals it has done in the world. Google it. And call me back again here. Google it. Now you have taken it here to print your papers. You have laid a landmine. Point number 3. Those are 2 points, mark them. The third one, why I said this election has a problem. 2 men who never say, I have agreed. Two men who don't agree that I have lost an election. 2 men. RUTO will never agree that he has lost an election. You know equally, Ogwambo is not a man you can push over. Now you are sending them to the battlefield without reconciliation. Hello, I support Liverpool. Tell me, hello, I'm a Liverpool supporter for 46 years. Tell me, you are having a problem. Is this an election? I'm asking a cardinal question. That is point number 4. Point number 5. Tukuje pole pole. Everybody in the IEBC is on acting. What is the problem here with you Kenyans?
Yeah, forget the comments, just continue.
No, I don't care. The comments are welcome. But I'm telling them the truth. For me, I don't care about the comments, Wekesa. I like them. You build me. Look at my stamina. Chebukati. The elections are could not be rigged on the first day. but they could be rigged through gerrymandering. Gerrymandering, for people, students who are listening here. Gerrymandering is a process where sides, where the preparations are done haphazardly to help to realize an election. You have gerrymandered. So the elections of Kenya are gerrymandered. You have no register today. Do you have a register? Do you know whether your name is on the register or not? 6 months have passed. The last point, which is a blow for you.
Now, before you go to the last point, before you go to the last point, I think you have raised valid issues, but part of the issues also creates RUTO fears. So, in your own view,
I am not, no, for me, I am not relying on RUTO's fears, because RUTO's fears are a hoax. RUTO is accusing Uhuru of rigging elections. Me, I am accusing the Electoral Commission of mismanagement of elections. Those are two different things. RUTO is accusing Uhuru when he is going for fundraising in the United States for a plate of food for $1,000 for one plate. So in Kenya, you have banned fundraising and Harambee. In the United States, RUTO ate Harambee money, and he was given that money from the plate of food. Why don't you summon him like you summon Chege? Niambie, muniambie saa hii nyenye wa Kenya, baba, wacha nizungumze Kiswahili watu wajue. Unafikiri mimi sina Kiswahili? Mimi Kiswahili yangu ya Tanzania, nilikuwa Msasani mimi. Nilikuwa Msasani kutoka 78. Mimi mtu ya Nyerere unaniona hapa. Nilikuwa Msasani. Wacha niambie wa Kenya. Nyenye mnalala. Hii election zitakuwa mbaya. Sababu Electoral Commission is not handling them in a proper way. There are diaspora voters who should abide by the regulations of the Constitution, isn't it? So tell me, the money collected from RUTO's fundraising dinner, where is it going? $30,000 per plate. 30 names of Kalenjin brothers who were there and the sisters. When they collected that money, where did they take it, Mr. Chebukati? Mimi nauliza ya kweli. I am Paul preaching to the Jews. I'm a Gentile. I'm a Christian, but not evangelical Christian like a RUTO. I'm genuine in my spirit. Where is the money going? Why is Chebukati keeping quiet? Why doesn't, when RUTO arrives, arrest RUTO, summon him, not arrest him, summon him to the IEBC for violating the laws? Why would you summon Sabina Chege for saying, another point, Nyenye Kenyans, you might not say, let me say, where are the servers? Wapi server? The Supreme Court said the servers must be opened. Chebukati's lawyer in the last election said people in France are still sleeping. So are people still sleeping 5 years? Wekesa, tell me. So people should not ask these questions and then you go around threatening people. Why should you threaten people? I threatened Mimi Tuone. He's in his country, I will go away. What will he do? Have I committed a crime here? I'm asking the questions which the Supreme Court asked Mr. Wekesa. And these are the questions I'm going to ask in London on 11th at 2 p.m. in Marriott Hotel when supporting Azimio, Raila, Amolo, Odinga. I will support him. There is no side I support which fails.
Which month? Which month?
This month, yes. Oh, yes. Oh my God. This next week, I'm going to finish RUTO in London. Sijui anakuja huko. Mimi niko kwa ndege kesho. I don't lie like a RUTO. I'm going. I don't sleep in cardboard house. I sleep in Sare. You know of a place called Sare? Sare. That's where only men with integrity stay. Ask anybody Mzungu here, where do you know Sare? So I'm going. I've called for a lecture, an open lecture on handshake, on Odinga and Raila, Omolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta's handshake strategy. You know, I'm a political scientist, up to the last iota. I'm not like Mutahi Nguni and others. These are younger boys. You know, I studied it. So I've taken that doctrine of Raila and Uhuru. I'm spreading it. I'm going to become the owner. I don't need money from Uhuru or Raila. I have got the money already from the doctrine of handshake. Have you seen the way I've moved with it to London to sell it quickly? Because the whole Africa is shaking hands. Didn't you see in Tanzania? Don't you see in Zimbabwe? Mnangagwa has shaken hands with all political opponents except Chamisa.
Yeah, but the fifth president of UDA has a problem with that.
It does.
Was telling the news.
Because he studied plants. I did not study plants. RUTO studied plants. His PhD is in plants, but he cannot even grow one plant. I don't want to go into that because it can embarrass that you are so-called half deputy president, half nusu deputy because he's not full president. Deputy president is he? As far as now, me, I'm a friend of the Jubilee Party. I know Jubilee, we have a new deputy chairman. We don't have a deputy president of the party. So he's there hanging by the constitution, by Martha Come's judiciary. He's half a deputy president.
Yeah, talking of Jubilee, I want to bring in a different perspective before you finish with the deputy president. Let me bring in some questions.
I want to hammer him more. Don't waste much time. I want that guy. He's a thief.
No, just So why is the president investing so much in Jubilee?
Is he very young? Yes. Is he very young? Yes. He's only 6. I beat the president by 6 years. He's now 62. I'm 60. I'm 67. Don't ask me what I eat, which has made me, because I don't hide my gray hair. It is not there. I trim my hair as a Marines. You know, I'm a soldier, grew up with discipline. I don't leave my bed. You have not asked me so many things, which Some people don't know about me. I don't leave my bed unmade. I sweep my house. And I clean it, hoover it every morning. Ooh, then go to the car and go and work. So don't look. Uhuru Kenyatta is not young. He's not old. He's 62. He needs to build a party that other generations can come in and see a legacy. It could win seats. It will win seats in parliament. There are certain areas where Jubilee will win seats. Am I wrong? There are people who will vote as Jubilee party. He will have MPs. They will have a say. There is money going to be allocated to them according to the strength of the party members in the parliament. There are certain areas where you cannot bring UDA. They will vote Jubilee. There are certain areas where people will vote UDA or DM. You can't cross. So you want Uhuru Kenyatta not to build his party? He has to build his party. He's going to retire as a president, executive president of republic, a functional president of, not executive, a functional president of the Republic of Kenya. But he will retire as a president of Jubilee Party. Therefore, he remains relevant to whip the members, to tell members what they should do, and to safeguard the interests of his members across the country. Therefore, he had to build a party, make it strong, rebrand it. In fact, now that we have expelled the fifth, I am like the Communist Party. You know, Communist Party are friends of Jubilee Party. So in case don't ask me, I don't have a voting card in Kenya. But I'm a friend, like a Communist Party is friendly. Does the Communist Party have a card in Kenya? Does it vote? Hey, so in those cars, I also sponsored my cars. They are in there. Do you know I also do business? I do cost hauling. All the way trucks or 40-feet container, they pass your Bungoma. Look at them. I don't want to show you the color, then you burn them. You know that? There are people who told me in Electoral they could burn my trucks. So now I changed the colors. Yes, they're handled. They're here. They pass. They go to Mombasa, deliver the goods. I don't beg money from anywhere. I've never, my CCTV will not find me in the State House that I'm looking for money from His Excellency, the President, or RUTO. No, I make my little money, which God has given me as an Anglican prayer, not a guitar prayer of evangelism. I don't go to, if I go to kanisa naenda kanisa nasikia watu wanaanza guitar na toroka. Because that is not a church anymore. It's a dancing hall. How do you see a bishop dancing in front of you, regaling the West? Are you all right? Bishop Kiona here regals the West. And so you have come, some people, what is all this? What's going on? And she's there dancing, showing the songs. Yes, it's gospel music. We have commercialized the religion. That's why even we forgot that point of Kenyatta. Kenyatta was right. You cannot allow Zakayo. Zakayo was told to return everything before he is admitted to God. Hallelujah. Has RUTO returned everything? RUTO is Zakayo.
Yeah. I've seen many questions. Kenyans say that these guys have read the whole Bible. They have only forgotten that verse of Zakayo, where he returned 4 times. As you do that, you also you will delve in on Mount Kenya politics. What is your take? I've seen Rigathi Gachagua, who was doubted to be DP's running mate. Yeah, he has taken his certificate of running for the he has paid his nomination fee for Mathira seat. So what is happening on the mountain? What is your take?
The mountain, when Kenyatta takes on the road, will change. Say hallelujah. It's going to change.
Amen. Amen.
We look at me. Look at my left eye mostly. It's going to change. My brother, look at me. It's going to change. By the time of elections, over 70% of that mountain will be different. I'm telling you and I'm promising you. Uhuru is not going to will hand over power to a person who will unite this country. A person who is going to divide this country, who brings mercenaries like Harun Eyadin and tells us he's a new fruit farmer and goes to Uganda, lies to our president. Goes to Uganda, lies to our president that this man has come to do a victory of vaccination. Can RUTO fly to Uganda nicely today? Fly. I challenge RUTO. Are you hearing in New York? Hear me, RUTO. Fly to Uganda and go and lie again. You thought you are the only one who knows Museveni. Some of us have been fighting. We were in Museveni in the trenches. You were not in, you don't even know how to handle a gun. Where? Watch out. Tisha Uhuru. Pana sisi. Sisi na atuali ututishwe. If you have got your children have grown already, what else do you want? You are only marrying this 2. We have married the 6. Where is Tisha watu wengine. You bring a farmer, Harun Eyadin, Mulima, Mukulima, can you tell, Wekasa, you know Swahili better. Mulima ya new fruits. What do you call it in Swahili? Mulima ya kisasa. ya matunda ya kisasa. Have you seen the drama? RUTO brought that one. All lawyers, Nasir, these thieves here, they ran Grandi Mula. Grandi Mula, they're calling himself, driving his Range Rover to go and rescue a terrorist. Now, nobody talks about Harun Eyadin. Are you not ashamed? When you saw lawyers there gathering at Kahawa, that they are rescuing Mulima ya Kisasa. Mulima ya Kisasa. What did you call it? So, sir, please, that is what a new farmer, a new fruit farmer in Swahili is called what? Where gets ahead of me here? Because they said Mr. Harun Eyadin is Mulima, Mukulima wa Kisasa. Ya matunda ya kisasa. Now,
yeah, modern day, I don't know what. There's a term.
Farmer, fruit farmer. Yes. And he picked the phone to say, hello, Mr. Mwangi, 15 billion. Mulima ya kisasa. This is.
Na ikatoka immediately.
And the money was, this is a thief. These are thieves. These are mafia. Don't turn a state which we think Africa hopes. Africa has hopes in Kenya. Kenya is the only island of peace. Allah. Mukulima wa kisasa. Asante sana. He told us that mukulima wa kisasa. Sasa mukulima wa kisasa anakuwa terrorist ya kisasa. Huko Uganda wanamtafuta, ako linked to ADF rebels in Congo. And the other man you arrested recently, whose picture appeared then he was arrested in Congo, was trained by Harun Eyadin Academy in Turkey. Mr. Ruto, from US, fly to Uganda. Yes. Senior, you brought me on this TV to say the truth.
Okay.
I am not like a PLO. PLO has got in good English, but he has not got, he's not frank, he's timid because of his size, he's very small. He's got very good English, but timid. He doesn't hit points like me. Me, I've got the body and the material. So if you come...
Yeah, I want you to talk about... I also want you to talk about the delegation. How does it rhyme with the manifesto of Bottom Up and Mutuachini?
What is Bottom Up? Have you ever seen
a tax-funded trip, personal trip, because we are not seeing him there meeting investors or meeting government officials.
He met investors,
and
the governor of Nebraska.
I don't know, for this government, he's using taxpayers' money, close to what? Over 150 million shillings of my money, your money, on a joyride. Number two, he talks about hustlers. He says, Nini ni mahasla. The boda guys, the mamambogas, and the juakali. And in his entourage, nimeangalia sana, sijaona mamamboga hapo.
No, that is too low. I think what happened, no.
Sijaona wale watu wa wheelbarrow.
That is too low.
And lastly, nimesema ukweli.
You don't make some
practically out of time, and because
that statement imeleta joto. Comment on it.
Let me tell you, Mutua on this one was spot on. The governor of Nebraska is a man who practices porn. You know the history very well. He's a racist. He doesn't like blacks. What investment are you bringing to him? To us? A man who doesn't like us. They didn't go to his office. Did that look like a governor's office? Because they have got a restrictive visa, the governor came to where they were. Do you know how the distance between Nebraska and Washington? Anybody on the shore who knows what the distance between Nebraska and Washington? It's very far. So the governors flew in to see Ruto in a restricted third-star hotel. Matsanga does not stay in a third-star hotel. Look at me. I don't travel economy in any aircraft on the business. I pass the stage. If there is no urgency, I don't go. But I only travel business class. I don't stay in less than a 5-star hotel because my insurance, if I'm dead, won't pay. You hear me now? That's the real money you brought here. Let them here. But Ruto is staying in a 3-star hotel, 3-star hotel in Washington, then telling people that he went to meet Governor Praska. What Praska? This is a man who has a very bad record. He hates blacks. Was that a business? Did the government? Now you tell me the DP went there on official business. Did he see President Kenyatta? Akiamungu, wacha tuulizane hii. Did he meet President Kenyatta before he left? No, no. We put money on it. And the Kenyatta tomorrow can, we can call him. Can I call him now? We call him. I don't want to be like a song. Yeah. Because I was dedicated in a very good manner from a Christian home. I don't behave like a song. The guy did not meet the president before he went. So what official business took him there? Which one? You have not seen the president for 9 months, face to face, and sat down and discussed, apart from inviting him to make a speech. You have never. So what did you go to represent who? Kenyans have which one? You maybe Wekesi. Because I see so many lawyers there, oh man, you by fault. You are lawyer also. You are shaming me. Why don't you stick like Matsanga? I'm the only man who has never been corrupted by Museveni or bought by money to go home. I'd rather die in exile than go and serve systems that destroy people. Yes, I have no regrets for that.
But even as you talk about lawyers, you will understand that even the deputy president himself understands, and he commended. He says that mukitaka kujenga kanisa mnaita mimi, mukitaka nini mnaniita mimi, wakati wa kura mnapatia baba. So you understand where we stand. Yes, in terms
I hope they will do that, and you better give it to Raila.
You saw today. You saw today, yeah.
Yes,
they are still with Baba and they love him.
They will, of course. I am still here. Those who are saying they will deport me. Raila, have you ever heard Raila insult me? Do you know when I saw Raila first? I don't want to tell you here. We have been with Raila in exile in Stockholm, in Sweden, in where? Have you ever heard Raila insult Matsanga? No. I am the one who said, Mzee, you are not right here. You are not right. But he has never insulted me. That's the man I love. Watch out. This time, let's give him my Akiamu. Nyenye wa Kenya, if I was a Kenyan and multiplied it 1 million votes, I would give them very early in the morning to Raila Amolo Odinga. He has suffered for this. Have you ever seen Raila insult me? All this time, even when Orengo tried to insult me at the Wekesa, you were listening at the Uhuru Park, you saw what Orengo said. You heard what he said. Can you repeat it here? He said, Uhuru Kenyatta is chasing our friends, but there are 2 people here. Lowassa and Dr. Matsanga. You heard Orengo, and Raila pulled him quickly and said, stepped on him, don't again. Raila is my friend. I don't want to tell you more details. Don't forget, I've been in government in Uganda from 1978. We have overthrown several governments, Lule, Binaisa, Tupa. I've been there. Younger man, we come for you. Lule made the noise. We went for him, bangled him, plane out. Another one, out. You see, I've been there until it came on me myself, ourselves. We are bangled out also. So I know a lot of things which I cannot tell here. Some of them are of very important security. But His Excellency Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga knows me. In fact, he knows if he's listening now. I know he's listening. He knows I'm talking the truth. He has never insulted me even one word. Even when people wanted me deported here, when he was a prime minister, he told them, don't. That man has suffered. I'm the only Bantu man. And I speak this with tears can roll down. The only Bantu man who stood for Luo people in my country when they were being slaughtered. I went to Juba. I went to Garamba Park. I looked for these younger men to say, come on table, to save our people. They were being butchered. They were being killed by Bantu forces in my country. I stand by the Luo people. Obote left me. I am a hardcore supporter of President Milton, the late Obote. You will never change me. His sons can run away from the party, but I will never run away from Obote until we meet in the grave. I don't want Obote to ask me, how did you leave the party? And I say I ran away from it. Angalia leo mjue. I stood by the Luo community when they were being butchered in northern Uganda. I'm a Bantu from Bugisu, from Bududa, from my place where you people come from. But I stood up. I said, no, the international community, come in, let's do peace. Let's get a redemption strategy. This is the redemption strategy I have been preaching to Kenya. Maybe, Wekesa, you want to know what redemption strategy is. Do you know it? Redemption strategy is BBI. The only problem you made is to name it BBI. You should have left it redemption strategy. Healing. No, let me begin. I'm teaching here. Accountability. Truth telling. Reparations. Restitution. Reconciliation. Finally, creates what we call a redemption strategy called healing. Without those components, your elections are meaningless. Are we together today? Wekesa, are we together? Wekesa.
Thank you. Now I want you to...
Can I repeat the words? Did you get them clearly?
Yeah, repeat kindly.
Did you get what I call a redemption strategy? Is one, accountability, truth-telling, reconciliation, reparations, restitution. It creates a redemption strategy called the healing process. If people don't tell the truth, if people don't account for what they have done, if people don't restitute or reparate, can I tell you one example, quick one? You are going to Malaba or Bungoma. You used to have a house in Timboroa, and you see smoke coming out of the house in Timboroa. You sleep in a boys' quarters in Nairobi. You have never been paid for somebody who is cooking in that house. How do you feel? How do you feel, Wekes? Haven't you ever been stopped by some people who behave like that, who are like that? When you talk about that incident, they cry tears. How do you feel? You have nowhere to sleep with 6 children. You were born in that area, but somebody is cooking in your house. Like a RUTO was reaping fruits from Muteshi's home. And Muteshi died without reaping fruits from his own home. How do you feel? You brought me here to tell the truth. Sindio. If I'm lying, you shut up.
I'm getting you. The Kenyans are listening. They are quite participating in the comment section. There are quite a number of sections, comments that shows how Kenyans are getting the information. I also want you to weigh in on a few things that Uhuru said in terms of, Baba said in terms of Uhuru and the strategy. Uhuru said in terms of 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 the strategy. Uhuru said in ter alisema ya kwamba Uhuru ni abunwasi. Walifikiria amelala, kumbe anajipanga. Let's just listen to that clip and then you tell us the strategy of Uhuru in dealing with his.
Abunwasi alijifanya ati amekufa ili ajue vile watu ambao wako naye wanafikiria juu yake. Sasa yeye akaanguka tu siku moja, wakaenda wakakuta Abunwasi amekufa. Sasa wakaanza kuongea, huyu mtu alikuwa mchawi, ndio akasema huyu mtu alikuwa mwizi, huyu mtu alikuwa mnajisi, wakasema mambo mengi mabaya sana juu yake. Baadaye wakaleta jeneza, wakachimba kaburi, wakaenda sasa kuzika Abunwasi. Sasa ile ambao walikuwa mteremsha kwa kaburi akaamka, ni kitu gani? Nani mnazika? Watu wakashtuka. Sasa ile ambao walikuwa wanataka kumuingiza yeye kwenye kaburi, sio hiyo? Ndio ndugu yangu Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Walifikiri Jubilee imekufa. So walisema Jubilee imekufa. Jubilee ilikuwa inalala kama Abunwasi. Si Jubilee imeamuka sasa? Jubilee. Sasa.
Yeah, so tell us the strategy. The president appeared to be a lame duck as they were thinking, but he's coming out to be a strong man and knows how to finish the game. Huh? They are panicking.
Let me tell you, it is only a derailed mind, a mind that has been to Butabika or Mathare, the Uganda Butabika and the Mathare of Kenya, that cannot see what Uhuru has done for this country. Uhuru has opened up this state, the state where we live, like where I live in the United Kingdom, developed because of infrastructure, the waterways, the canals, the ships, the infrastructure, the airports, the roads. All the cotton that was coming from Sudan, Uganda was being transported on water and then there on airplane, then on roads into factories in Manchester. In Manchester United, that's why I don't support Manchester, because we were used there as slaves. There are people in Africa who clap when Manchester is playing. Matsanga, I will not clap. Because I've been to Manchester, studied their history. You go to Manchester in a pub to drink a beer. Somebody comes to whistle, meaning that they are birds from the forest that have arrived here. But in Liverpool, you find other fellow blacks, because Liverpool was the center of transatlantic trade, which brought the blacks into Liverpool and took away the whites, took sugar, brought sugar, took machinery to the Caribbeans. So when you look at the infrastructure that Uhuru Kenyatta has done in this country, whether you come from Chebukube, Chebutais, Kaimos, Lodwa, Mandela, Wanji, Migori, Lunga, you will find something, a grader is rolling. Am I wrong? Is a road being dug. There is a school being built. This is not a man who was dead. This is not a party that was dead. This was a party that was focused on development. And this the party that wants Raila Amolo Odinga to take over with that type of development, the direction. There's no shortcut here. We have no shortcut. Uhuru has no shortcut in his never in his chest anymore. And those thinking that, oh, that's why they're now pleading, Mr. President should not be involved in campaigns, because they know when he goes on the ground, he will show what he has done for Kenya. Can RUTO show us what he has done for Kenya? Even his house was built from nails stolen from SGR. What theft? People around the neighbors used to see trucks coming at 3 a.m. Like 50 trucks loading, offloading. What? Took pictures. We have these pictures. You know one thing with me, because I don't speak something. When you ask me, you harass me enough, I release them. This is the type of man Matsanga is. I release them. When ICC said I'm lying, I release the pictures of Kabutu. OTP number 4. It is me. Look at my face properly. I release the pictures and the videos. Within 30 minutes, I had 80 million viewers. My website collapsed. The ICC said, we are arresting you. I said, come, I will not remove it. So if you touch me, you press me, I will show you the lorries offloading the nails, the metals for building Sungoi home. Do you know what the villagers call him there? Mwizi ya Msumari. So this is a man you are dealing with, that you are saying you want to hand over this country? No. The deputy president is a disgrace. Uhuru did not die. Obuna's reflection is correct. I like. I'm coming to that. I can see your viewers are pulling me to Yabei. I'm coming. And later, Wekesa asked me. I don't want to introduce a subject, because I know the rules of journalism. I can't speak what I have not been asked. So, the whole thing is, the situation is very clear. President Uhuru Kenyatta legacy stands. I'm writing 3 books. Wekesa, you will be one of the few people now we are friends with Mr. Mutembe's TV. You will have the copies, the first copies. I'm writing about the legacy of president. I've been documenting. You remember I'm the owner of the legacy trend. I think you know that. I'm the owner. This is the guy. Nobody else. Nobody. The rest steal my material, like a Kagwanja, Professor Kagwanja stealing my material. Eh? But I'm the owner. I have never been against RUTO. I saved the RUTO. I saved the RUTO. I am the only Ugandan who stood firm when the Kenyans were fearing to say, no, these guys are going down to jail for nothing. Didn't you see me? You see? It's not only me who saw. So many. The people in Sungoi call him Mwizi ya Misumari. There is in Kalenjin, I don't know how they call it. You can speak, Wekesa, you are neighboring here. So, it is very bad for every people, every Kenyan to think we are electing a thief. And then you feel Kenya is a very good country with good democracy. Then they elect a thief. A man, even if allegedly he's a thief. He's a thief. If they say you're a thief, why don't you say I've not stolen? Why do you keep quiet? Then people will assume you're a thief. Sindio. Toka useme hapana, baba ni wana wapi? Why is it the Dolphin Hotel in Mombasa Dolphin Hotel in Mombasa. The man built and went to cut the Indian Ocean. Now, when the water comes back, you will be dancing with the water in the kitchen. Until Mombasa County officials, NEMA, they stopped the building of the hotel. Is this the man you want to elect to lead this country, Wekesa? It's up to you. Ask me another question. I'm ready. Next.
Okay. Today, there was Moses Kuria is saying that he's joining, he's talking to Kenya Kwanza Alliance, and 21 parties or so are ready to join Kenya Kwanza Alliance. What is your take? And the stand for Oka. What is your view on Kalonzo's final decision?
I want to tell His Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, if he's watching, and His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, whom I'm going to tag at this immediately, if you have not tagged his office, because you might not know it. You might not, I will tag him. I will even send a text to say, I've been speaking on Mutembei radio, television. Mr. Prime Minister, move away. Don't listen to a liar. Don't listen to Kalonzo. Can I tell you why? Kalonzo, Martha Karua were waiting for a signal from New York. Where is George Kegoro? Where is George Kegoro? You are a friend of George Kegoro, Wekesa, isn't it? Can you pick a telephone and call where, and you see where, how his phone rings? Where is he? Is he in New York? Is he not the chairman of Open Society Foundation? What did he go to do in New York? He went to George Soros' offices. George Soros has been bargaining with Mudavadi for a long time. I told you the story. Barack, Muruka, and Ewaru resigned because of the money. These guys were waiting. Has the deal been done? That's why on Monday, Kalonzo, did you know that Kalonzo met Chikwete at night? Did you know? Now hear me. Hello? Hello? He met Kikwete. Then all of a sudden he changed it. So many things. I have a personal statement in the morning. I have a personal statement to issue in the morning. Who is Chikwete? Chikwete is NGO. You remember under Chikwete, NGOs in Tanzania thrived. Am I wrong? Have you of late in Kenya seen, have you of late in Kenya seen any NGO accusing RUTO of corruption?
Not one.
Why are they silent? Because they have one master paying for Mudavadi's entry into order. Look at what they did. Look at what they did. Kalonzo and Martha Karua said, oh, the agreement has a problem. What was the problem? Was this a NASA? Is Oka NASA? No. What was the problem? So Raila Odinga should listen carefully. What are you wasting time? You have got the few people who are coming on board. You have 3 governors from Ukambani.
Yeah, today Kivuta Kibwana said that Kalonzo is overrated. What is your take?
I'm coming on that. You have 3 governors. They have a population. Take it a few. Even if you try to bring Kalonzo, not every Okamba will vote for you. Am I wrong? Even if you bring Kalonzo on board in Azimio.
You are right. You are right. I think the history of Cumberland, just as Western, they always vote in different directions.
Yes. So let's take the votes that we have. We don't waste much time. We go and concentrate in the area which was poisoned by RUTO. The area that RUTO poisoned, like a Fanon Fanzi. Fanon Fanzi. Anybody on the television who knows what Fanon Fanzi is? Franz Fanon. Who said it is violence, and the violence alone. And once violence is used against the population, you rule them. The wretched earth, Wekes. Have you read the wretched earth? The wretched of earth? Have you? I advise you to go and read it now. You have seen, you have met the real Matsanga with the academic. I'm deadly. I mark people's exams, not this Matsanga you see on the street, everybody harassing. Boss, the wretched of earth, it is violence, and the violence alone. Once violence is instilled, and the fear is instilled in the people, you rule them. Museveni used that fury in Luwero Triangle. RUTO used that fury in Mount Kenya. Introduce the fear syndrome, that if you don't elect me, how will the Kikuyus in the Rift Valley live? Have you seen where? Are you together now? That's the fear. Everybody fear. There are even officials of government, they go to the toilet before they mention the name RUTO. Huh? They hide. A person who doesn't know how even the sound, if there are 2 sounds of a gun, two, he doesn't know which gun is, they fear him. Me, I don't fear, because without me, he would be in jail. Yeah, without me, going for Rule 68 to fight Giladio Otieno, they were going to pass Rule 68 and jail him. I have a stake here. I have a stake here. I have a stake. Tell me, how many Kenyans in 2009 stood up like me? Was Makamu Tua not killing me? Was Gladio Latino not going to kill me? Jojo Mue, Harun Dubi, Wainaina, Maina Kiai. You saw how they were going for my blood. Wasn't I standing for these guys? I'm a Gentile preaching to the Jews. Read the letter of Philippians, chapter 3, chapter 4. You will find my solace.
You have mentioned Makau Mtua and the issue of Wetangula.
By the way, we shook hands.
Let me bring you to speed to what he was saying. I think they were in a rally in Trans Nzoia.
Wewe ni rafiki yangu sana, na mimi nilisikitika kuona some upstart professor called Makau Mutua, a man whose record in academia is dubious and unverifiable, akizungumuza mambo machafu juu yako. I stand here as your long time friend to defend you. Bwana Mutua, your being with Raila Odinga does not give you the license to besmirch, abuse, and denigrate Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka is a respected former vice president of Kenya. Na sisi kama wana Kenya Kwanza tuko tayari kufanya kazi na Kalonzo Musyoka to boost our numbers. Na wewe ukimkosea Kalonzo heshima, unawakosea viongozi wa Kenya heshima. Wewe Mutua, whoever elected you anywhere, even as a village elder, you cannot and you should not and we shall not allow you to continue speaking in a disparaging manner against a respected leader in the caliber and person of Kalonzo Musyoka. Ndugu Kalonzo, don't worry, you have defenders. Huyo kijana anakutusi is a very junior lawyer. He was in first year when I was in third year. And he has never had anything to distinguish himself as a lawyer. Anybody can go to America and come back calling himself a professor. Those dubious professorships gives nobody a license to be rude to others.
Now, my brother, I think sometimes politicians overrate themselves. Huh? In Kenya, I think all elected leaders, there are not more than 3,000 there. So how dare do we want to think that anybody who has not succeeded, who has never stood for an elective post, we want to demean them? I think he used this language on Mutua. He also used it on I normally call him our elder of wisdom, Atoli. I say that Atoli has never caught even over 300 votes. But don't we have people of our right standing in the society who have never even gone for an election?
Yes, there are very many. There are very many people who have never gone for elections, who don't want election, but they have integrity. Has Wetangula got integrity? Surely. Wetangula has got only one degree, one Kasimoro degree from Nairobi University. Tell him, ask him if he got even a master's. He has no master's degree, Wetangula. Some of us who had no degrees have read, and we have 4 or 5. Some of them are here in the house. I can show you. They are from recognized university. As Wetangula read more than one law degree, which he had, which I know. So, but he's my brother, and you know, with relatives, I don't want to talk much because I know where he comes from. He's like a Wabukala. Wabukala is my relative. So if you beat him and I find you beating Wabukala, tutakupigana paka mwisho. So Wetangula is Moses. Moses has fallen where his friends are. He can't fit in an upright society. So he's now saying Kalonzo come to, soon they will chase him from there. He will have nowhere. The squabbles in UDA during nomination will be very many. Wetangula is a very good guy. He supported, I don't want to say anything wrong. He supported Raila during the detention times. We were struggling to writing English to go and help Raila in court. He's a very good guy. He also stood up as a patriot, but I don't know what has gone wrong in him. That is all I can talk. But being on him, because we don't want to open too many wars. My war in Kenya is with one fifth called William Samoei Ruto. I don't have a war with the others. These others are periphery. That's the man who never came to me and said, thank you, Matsanga, for helping me in the ICC. Huyo na mimi tuko na vita. Paka mwisho. He can become a president of Kenya, lakini itamngojea.
Are you then suggesting that if he thanks you, you can change your stand?
No, it's too late. Thank me with what? After insult. Have you seen at times you come on my Facebook to check, to help me. I receive 20,000 insults every day. At times yes, 20,000. Because I support Uhuru Kenyatta. They call me big stomach, big legs, hippopotamus, elephant. Oh my Jesus Christ. And my children, my 8 grown-up children say, Daddy, what is this? Why don't you come home back? What is it you want us? We can send you the money. I said, no, I am in a struggle, a patriotic African struggle. There is a good nation in Africa where you, my children, even if I'm not there, one day you can go and settle there. It's called Kenya. We can't leave Kenya to go to dogs. Wild dogs like a Murkomen, wild dogs like a Kindiki, thieves, who took my money in the name of them giving me for ICC job. They are there. Have you seen them talking when I talk and I accuse them? They would have taken me to court. But they know they took, if we go there, there are people who gave them money to bring to me, they never brought. So for me, I have no regrets. Don't cry for me. Cry for your children, for the people of Kenya. If you elect a thief called Samoei RUTO, if you elect Raila Odinga, in fact, if I were Kalonzo, do you know among the people on this side who has annoyed a few people by saying Kalonzo should be the running mate? Oh, I am almost being boxed down, but I've stood firm. I'm now telling you on this side, let Raila hear me. I'm fighting battles quietly in the kitchen somewhere. That if Kalonzo came, the party in Jubilee is strong. Uhuru Kenyatta can look after the interest. And the Kalonzo can come and we forget about this mess. We move together. We bag the votes. Mr. RUTO will be in the Sungoi, or he might not be on the ballot. We don't know. Atuoli has the reasons. But me, the only reasons I know is that if they jail Mucheru, Gicheru is jailed. Uhuru, RUTO, Samoei RUTO, William Samoei RUTO will have a warrant of arrest. If the case finds Gicheru guilty, you hear me? There will be a warrant for those who took part, because apart from the evidence you are seeing on TV, there is also serious evidence that the ICC gathered, which the court and Gicheru and the prosecution and defense are seeing only. You get the point? Including videos of money paid by the man himself standing in videos. So it is a very serious thing, Mr. Wekesa. It's not a thing that you can think of and just pray about and say it is something like, no, it's serious. But the bottom line is, can Uhuru leave a country, a shattered country, a bad preparation of elections, a parliament whose MPs are supposed, which MPs starting from 9th, they will be strangers. Have you not said that? You have not asked me about that. It's a very serious matter. Do you know that from 9th, the MPs of Kenya, those who left one party, would be strangers in the house? The speaker himself is a stranger. This has never happened in life where the speaker declares interest and remains controlling the parliament, which is making the laws for the same election. Have you seen where we have gone wrong? If you think Matsanga speaks nonsense, it's up to you.
Yeah, there are also Kenyans who are asking the fate of CS Munya. They say that if at all he needs to be elected, picked to be a running mate, he should have resigned. Does it apply that way in law?
Yes.
That if he up to now he has not resigned, it means he cannot be picked.
Yes. You can't.
So technically,
a running mate must come from competitors. He's not a competitor. It's technical now. He's not a free. He's not playing. He's playing politics from his personal point of view. But he has not resigned. Therefore, he cannot now, from nowhere, he comes and says, I am now the running mate. No. That shows you that the dynamics, if I were Kalonzo, I would strike a deal with Raila. And this time guaranteed by President Uhuru Kenyatta that Raila can take the first phase, I take the second phase automatically. And the Raila will come out a Mandela. Why should I go to a man who might change the constitution and remain there for life? You know Ruto can change the constitution and say, Hakuna mambo hapa, turns the Museveni style, removes the term limits. What will you do? Parliament removes the term limit. You will not refuse, will you? So be careful. Wekesa, be careful. That's what Kenyans should hear. And it is good you bring some of us who are independent-minded, frank, we talk. Because when people talk, they say that is Raila. That is, no, I am not a Kenyan. I'm not a voter. I'm just wishing you good luck because I have 29 refugees who are in my parish who are doing M-Pesa today. From 2007, and they have produced children. Now multiply how many children we have. So when you tell me, Matsanga, I should not speak about Kenya, when I still have 29 Kenyans who have settled, whom have left my land, because I'm not in Uganda, I told them, some of them settled on my land and they build the shops. Yes, that's how good I am. They are there. We have Kimani, we have Joroke, we have all of them from Mount Kenya and from the Rift Valley. They settled there. All those, they have gone. They are in my parish. The M-Pesa that goes to my mother, I send it to Njoroge, who is in my parish. And he takes the money to my mother. He doesn't cheat. And I said, Mom, this is what they told me, the shop. He buys the food, the unga, and delivers it. And the pig takes a photograph and sends me the photo that Matsanga, Mom has received the food. He's a Kenyan doing business. No Ugandan has thrown him out. He left with nothing. But because he found us, I'm a refugee also. I left Kenya with nothing. And Uganda in 85 with nothing. Today, I have like almost 5,000 shirts. Some of them I don't wear. I give them out to churches. But I left with one shirt, one trouser, one knicker, one underwear, one pair of shoes, one socks, one handbag with a body. So when I looked at that refugee in my parish, said, give him that plot, let him build it there. He has done very well, better. A house already there of bricks. Power is there. Museveni has brought water. Give a credit also where it is due. I left when there was no water, but now we drink tapped water. Piped. With my mother does not go to the well again. Piped water, piped in the house. The toilets are for flush. That is the life. And that's what some of us have gone through. And we still have sense of humor, sort of keeping our friends.
Okay. I will play one video and then as I give you a commercial break, and then you can comment on it as we prepare to close.
Yes.
That there is no contest about the number of votes each candidate got. The contest is that there was a form that had a problem, that there was a problem with the transmission. What kind of democracy is this? Because democracy is the will of the people. 15 million Kenyans expressed their will and made their verdict known. Hata kama ingenakiliwa kwa full scap na ibebwe na mkokoteni, inatosha kwa sababu wa Kenya wameamua. So don't tell us about from this and from that. Don't tell us about this transmission and that transmission. Tell us about the people of Kenya. What did they decide? That is what is important to the Constitution. And don't tell us that it is not important that the people voted. That the only thing that is important is the form on which results were recorded and how it was transmitted. My friends, we may not be learned, but we are not stupid. Na tunataka Maraga atusikie vizuri. Kwa sababu he has had his day. Ours is coming. And by the way, that is not a threat. He has had his day. He has done his game. Our day is coming. Si ni kweli jameni? Wazi watu wasituone ati wataenda kusema mambo Kiingereza mingi hapo. Hapana. No. Hiyo hapana. Wacha tuseme. Kwa sababu lazima tuambiane ukweli. Ya kwamba yale yaliendelea kotini pale. What went on? That a decision was made that overturned the will of 15 million Kenyans by some 3-4 people and overturned the will of the people so that the will of a few people in court can prevail. We want to tell them it is not the Supreme Court that is supreme. It is the Kenyan people that are supreme. And we will prove this shortly. We will prove to them shortly. Wasilewe ya kwamba kwa sababu wanaitwa Supreme Court, wafikiri ya kwamba they are more supreme than the supreme will of the Kenyan people. Wacha niseme ili niweze kukamilisha. IEBC ni independent institution that was set up on the dictates of our opponents. Wao ndio walienda kufanya maandamano, wakafukuza IEBC ambayo ilikuweko, Sisi tukawa wangwana, wakaleta IBC hii. Sisi tunataka kuwaambia my friends, hawawezi kutuzungusha tena. IBC hii ndiyo itasimamia uchaguzi inayokuja. This is the IBC. Wao wenyewe hawawezi tena kutufanyia maandamano watubadilishe. Bana. Na mimi nataka niseme hivi. Hii IBC, niulize watu wa NASA. The same IEBC that is going to preside over the repeat of the presidential election is the same IEBC that presided over the election of their governors, of their senators, of their members of parliament, of their women reps, of their MCAs. If they have a problem with this IEBC, then they should ask all their officials elected by this IEBC or their elections to resign so that we can know they are serious, that this IEBC has a problem. My friends, you cannot have your cake and eat it. Yes, lazima tuambiane ukweli. Huwezi kutuambia ya kwamba hii IEBC iko na matatizo na nyinyi tayari mumeenda kwa kula kiapo ya MCA, ya women rep, ya MP, ya senator, ya governor wa chama chenu. Sijui kama tunaelewana. So, lazima tuelewane. We need to draw the line clearly. Hatuwezi kukubali ya kwamba hii IEBC tuanze tena mzunguko ingine. Kwa sababu tunajua their interest is that they don't want an election. Hii kizungu yote ya kusema IEBC ijafanya, IEBC iko na makosa, IEBC iko na hii, ni kwa sababu hawako tayari kwa uchaguzi ndani ya siku 60. Wanataka tuzungushane hapa, muda iishe, ndio tuanze mambo ya nusu mkate. Sisi tunawaambia my friends, there is no nusu mkate business. It is not part of our democracy. It is the people of Kenya who will decide their leaders. We are not going to have any kangaroo arrangements to set up an illegal government, unconstitutional government ati inaitwa nusu mkate. Kwa hivyo wajipange kwa uchaguzi. Na IEBC wasichelewe, watangaze mara moja ni siku gani, kazi twende kazi. Ndio tu Wakenya waamue mambo ikwende mbele. Ama namna gani jameni? Hatutaki kusungushana. So, nafikiri tumekubaliana. And now, kwa sababu tumeshakubaliana, hii kazi imeanza kutoka jana, leo tukienda mbele, the contest is framed for this repeat presidential election. It is a contest where we want to know whether it is who is supreme. Is it the supreme verdict of the Supreme Court or the supreme will of the people of Kenya? And we will demonstrate in the coming 60 days. So kina Maraga na ule mzee akitendawili wajipange. Yes. Kitendawili na watiaga ya kotini wajipange. Kwa sababu Wakenya ndio wataamua. Hatuwezi kukubali ya kwamba kotini itatuamulia viongozi. Hatuwezi kukubali ya kwamba ati viongozi wa Kenya wataamuliwa kwa mikutano, sijui mazungumzo ya kona kona, ndio nusu mkate ipatikane. That is unacceptable to us. We are ready for an election in the next 60 days. We want IEBC to tell us when, so that tuanze kujipanga. Tushakubaliana jameni? Na safari hii tumesema sio 54% ile Uhuru Kenyatta alipata. Safari hii tunasukuma mpaka 70+1. Ndio huyu mjamaa wa kitendawili aende retire. Tumekubaliana jameni? So we are telling our friends wajipange tu ile wamefanya huko. They have had their day. Ours is coming. Ours is coming. Because we shall interrogate everything. We shall interrogate everything. How a Supreme Court made a decision to overturn the supreme will of the people on the basis of things that have nothing to do with the Kenyan voting. Ati sijui form sijui gani ilikuwa haina sijui muhuri, sijui ilipeperusha sijui kwa njia gani. Hiyo ni mambo ya upuzi sana, wapotee kabisa. Tushakubaliana jameni? Tushakubaliana?
Yeah. So that is it. You have had your day. Ours is coming. Then the second thing which he was emphasizing was you cannot have your cake. You cannot eat your cake and have it. But the same thing now, like the Luya saying goes, Vintu vichenjanga. He ate his cake, and now he's claiming it in the international scene. So you can comment on it, and then we have 1, 2, 3 guys who will come, make their comment or ask a question. Then you can also respond. We wanted to bring them live. Thank you. You are on mute. Let me unmute you.
I have.
Thank you. You can. Yeah, you are now okay.
Yeah, thank you
can
very
proceed.
much.
You okay?
Thank you very much. Emperor Nero, one of the emperors of the Roman Empire, had a problem. The problem is similar to RUTO. To RUTO's problem. Emperor Nero was an adopted son. Emperor Nero was an adopted son. An adopted son of one of the emperors. The name is, but let me stick to Emperor Nero. The mother came with Nero when the emperor married Nero's mother. The mother went to Emperor Nero and said, "They are better people. Every day they pray, they sit down, they pray, they pray in voices, in tongues, and you see things happen. They are better than this overseer. What are these medicine men in Africa? I don't know in your clans, you call them what? In Mailuya with banana. Mailuya is going a bit medicine men in Africa. Now, this the people who come to advise the emperor, those who see the sun, the moon, the stars, they say, "Emperor, don't listen to those people." The mother came and said, "No, Emperor, there is a new religion. People are talking of spirit, a bigger God." Emperor Nero said, "Go and bring them to the Paris in Rome." And when these priests, when these Christians, some of them came, they started singing. They started singing in songs, in things. The emperor was confused, but he doesn't see anything at all. Then they talked of the heaven fire, that there be fire. You know what Emperor Nero did? Emperor Nero directed, ladies and gentlemen, and those watching, to burn Rome. Emperor Nero was the only person who burned Rome because he thought he was now killing that spirit. RUTO has forgotten. that is the same person who said the IEBC was very good. The same system which he said was very bad, he's turned to say it is now the one that he has been going on sending lawyers like Harvey. That Harvey, you know, the other time I had an argument with Harvey, I silenced him, and I'm told he resurrected again on another TV. I'm ready for him. You know, look, elections in Kenya have, at the moment, believe me or not, like me or don't like me, I'm a foreigner. I am a Gentile talking to you Jews. There's no good preparation in today's elections that are going to take place in August. We have haphazard, and the earlier Mzee Raila Odinga comes up and says, hey, something is not right with you going to print ballot papers in Greece, where RUTO can equally print ballot papers and fill them from Nanok. Helicopters that come at night, and we have votes already cast. We have to be careful. So the same problem that I've explained for 2.5 hours now still lingers in Kenya's politics. Until you have a redemption strategy, a unit of purpose, forgiveness, healing purpose. If I were President Uhuru Kenyatta, I would not call these elections. I will cancel them. And I ask Parliament to extend and we clean this mess. Because at the moment, for me, I look like you are now preparing a road towards a fight. When you see a deputy president who is in the government, goes to US, stands in the United States, because he has seen evangelical money, the pastors have collected dollars, he gets excited and tells them that there is a very bad thing in Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta is rigging the elections. Why doesn't Chebukati wait for him at the airport and summon him with a letter? Chebukati has just told us that he is just writing, what did he say again? That he is writing a letter, he is investigating. When the lady, can I ask a question? Are the servers still closed? The Supreme Court ordered for these servers to be opened. Chebukati said in France people were sleeping. I hope the French are not still sleeping up to today. So I submit that for me, the only best way forward for Kenya, for a better Africa, for a better East Africa, a united, integrated, a peace-loving Africa, East Africa, the Great Lakes region, is to see a better Kenya emerge. A Kenya emerge out of all this. Kenya is an island of peace where all of us refugees across the board for years and years, not today, not only me. I'm not a refugee in Kenya, by the way, Wekesa. I have never applied. I've never applied for refugee status in Kenya. So let the young people know I am settled somewhere else in the world. I wish you good luck in your elections. I'm ready for the
Thank you. Before you summarize, let me invite a few questions and comments from the panelists and those who have been following up the discussion. I will begin with Alex. How are you, Alex?
Thank you, Mr. Wekesa, and thank you for the nice interview with Dr. Matsanga. And
Yes.
I took off from work. I was basically working, and I said, no, I gotta listen to this man, because your statement that his name has been mentioned a couple of times, and that is not a good sign. I wanted to know more about it, but in the debate, so in the interview, so many things came about. you seem to be a man who knows what you're saying, and a couple of things. You cracked a couple of jokes. The first joke you cracked is that you get 20,000 insults a day, and I was thinking in my mind, I can't handle that. I can't handle 20,000 insults a day. But also you said you have like 5,000 shots, so that's good. For every shot, you get 4 insults. But but there's something interesting you said, and I want you to put it in context and in content so that we can fully understand. You say that Mudavadi and George Soros have had a close relationship. Now, that tickled my mind, really, because Rigathi departure seems to be that his money is no longer valuable. So, because we have known that George Soros for years has been destabilizing countries all over Africa. That is a fact. New York Post has said it, Washington Post has said it, and leading newspaper in America have actually accused and alleged Soros of funding coups all over the world. Now, you put that interest to me, you said, Mudavadi and George Soros have had a close proximity for a very long time. Now, my question is it that the reason that now Mudavadi had to be in the DP's entourage, so that because the DP is having financial crunch? We know that. We know that for sure the DP has a financial crunch. Can we authoritatively say that the DP's tour to the US was a money trip, and the money trip is connected to Mudavadi, and Mudavadi is getting money from George Soros to destabilize our democracy and our country? Is that your position as Matsanga?
Yes.
Can you elaborate the relationship between Mudavadi and George Soros? Because that's very interesting. When that came in, and I want you to put it into context so that our viewers can know who is George Soros and what he has been able to do in Africa, and what he does with his money in terms of bankrolling of what you said of this non-governmental organization. George Soros organization is the funder of almost 80% of non-government organizations in Kenya. Can you put that into context and content so that our viewers can understand?
Yes, thank you very much, my brother Alex. You have made very brought up something very important. I want to answer and start by saying, I know George Soros from 2002. I've followed his work, activities, operations. I want to shock you again on this television. Do you know why Russia is pounding Ukraine? George Soros sold 969 billion of Russia's money. It's not a lie. There's a warrant of arrest for Mr. George Soros from Russia, Moscow. The Russians have been crying to Clinton, Obama, Bush, Trump, almost. You know, Trump and George Soros, they don't see eye to eye. He almost handed him over. Because the Russians lost 969.
I know Soros and Trump don't see each other. I know that.
Yes. They lost the money. And they took, you know what he did? He picked the money and went to Ukraine and started building the Ukrainian system. The Orange Revolution of 2002, 2004, you remember? You remember the Orange Revolution? November 22, 2003, 2004. Who paid for it? George Soros. Have you seen the crisis? The root cause. Do you notice that in Russia, The Russians are not shooting anyhow. They are targeting particular, and they will go back because they are members of the United Nations Security Council. They cannot be mad to be killing people, then come to the Security Council. But let's leave that. You better mark that and ask anybody who asks you, tell him Matsanga told us. Because I study international intelligence systems. That's my specialty. I finished it. I know it. Friends have told me what it is. The war. Have you seen America rushing to put troops in Ukraine? You think America has no troops to put in Ukraine? People are running away. They said, this is a problem of that warrant. If you go to Kinoti, DCI now, that warrant is on Kinoti's inside the fire. That when you see George Soros, anywhere, grab him. We want him. If I'm telling a lie, God, you have kept me for 37 years in exile. Help me. Aha. Another thing that I want to come now to, the relationship of George Soros with Mudavadi and the rest. It is a very big game. In RUTO's office, there is a man called Singoye. Do you know him? Any of you on the panel who knows Singoye? Dr. Abraham Korir Singoye. He comes from Twanzoya. He wanted to contest a seat, yes. He was working for George Soros. The wife works for George Soros. He's the legal advisor of William Samoei Ruto. You know him now. He's always in Samoei Ruto's meetings as a legal mind. Baraka Muruka, Ewaro, Mudavadi leave this country after forming ANC Mupia. They flew to United States of America. Intelligence is very clear. Records are very clear. They stayed for 2 months, isn't it? Mudavadi went addressing all those agencies. Finally, addressed Open Society Foundation with Johnny Carson's. Wasn't Johnny Carson's in Carnage? He was there, the institute. He addressed Open Society Foundation with Ewalo, with Baraka Muruka. They came back. George Soros promised Baraka Muruka, Mudavadi, that he will give them support. He has been looking for someone in Kenya to give support. It is not only in Kenya. You ask me so many questions. Some of you will ask me, why am I not fighting for Uganda? I took part in fighting for Uganda long time ago. Wekesa will tell you. I've done my bit. My last born is 22 years old. She's coming to 23, finishing a master's degree. Do you want me to continue fighting when my children, my firstborn is 43? Miriam can now go and challenge anybody in Uganda. She has read, others have read, all of them, none of my children has not read. They can now go and play politics. Instead of me arguing, I've done my bit. But because there is a George Soros element in the Ugandan opposition, I don't want to be involved. They shout, then run to US to pick dollars. I don't want to be involved there. No. That is, the George Soros element now comes in. When Baraka Muruka and Ewaro came back to Kenya, remember Mudavadi created what we call Mudavadi Center, isn't it? Foundation. Whose money was it? What caused the fight? Why did Baraka Muruka resign? Why did Mr. Ewalo resign? Read the letter of Mr. Ewalo. I will send it to your producer to give you a copy. Sir, then you sit down and see where the problem is. Now, all these arguments of Kalonzo, hiccup, Martha Karua, hiccup. Has Martha Karua ever worked anywhere apart from being a minister? How does she live? How does she survive in Kenya? Has she got a farm? Have you heard of Martha Karua's farm? Martha Karua is the NGO.
Wekeza, is this guy preaching? What is he telling us?
I am answering the question.
Mala, what is your problem? I asked a question.
I am not, even if I'm preaching, you can answer me anything. I'm telling the truth. And the truth is that you don't even know who George Soros is. But I know, at least you don't.
So you are speaking for Yoweri Museveni or for Uhuru Kenyatta?
No,
we want to listen from the preach. Can you take that guy out? We want to listen
he can stay. I am a Ugandan, but you can also become a refugee anytime. Because you look at
he needs to know. Listen, Dr. Matsanga.
So in short, Wekesa, don't worry.
Wait. He needs to know this was a special interview. You can ask questions, but you don't come to take over. He's just crashing. If he has a question, he asks permission, then he asks the question. There is order in the house. So finish up what you are saying, then we go to the next question.
In short, Mudavadi was included in the delegation of His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the deputy half president of Kenya. I call him half because the party has removed one part and he's halfway. Because the visa was for the Madam Mrs. Ruto. These are facts that you might not be knowing. But Mrs. Ruto was the one going to US, and the husband came to Foreign Affairs and asked for, can I accompany her? And usually on humanitarian ground, Kenyatta cannot refuse, because Kenyatta came from an organized family, not a crude family. If it had been Ruto, he could have refused to go. But he said, give him the visa to go. And the Americans gave him a restrictive visa. But he had to bring in Mudavadi. But Mudavadi is going there, is not any role. Mudavadi is playing the role of securing funding. That's why you saw Kalonzo in summary and Martha Karua and others having hiccups. The only people who are good in Oka now are Jirongo and Gideon Moi. Those ones will come with Raila today. But this one, Kalonzo, we are still pulling because they have seen the money. Now the agreement, sir, which you asked, has been inked. Where is the money going to go? Doha. From Doha, you know Wala, the Somali Walas, you know them. You know the forex of the Somalis. Do you know where they wire the money? They will wire it to.
No, I'm in Minnesota and I know how they do it, so I understand. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Matsanga, thank you for answering that question. I thought you were wallowing in the mud, but you have convincingly convinced me of that link. I thought I would take on you on that, but I think now I understand. I have looked at the letter.
I can send.
I've looked.
Editor everything.
Yeah, I've looked at the letter.
I will send you everything about you.
No, I've looked at the letter of resignation of Barack Muluka and Owalo, and I have seen it was in contestation open society, and it was in regard to the funds. Thank you so much for answering that. Somebody else can go on. Thank you.
Asante.
Okay, let me have Gerard. Do you have a question?
No, let Njiru go. He has already touched a lot of
Okay,
things which I need
Jiru, you have
to
a
digest.
question. Let me ask those who have questions first, and then those who have a comment, you can also do it in 3 minutes. Okay, so Njiru, go first.
Okay, thank you very much. I have been seeing Dr. Matsanga in social media and other places of influence, and I have been seeing his contribution a lot in so many areas of our Kenyan political space. So I know him from YouTube and so many other channels. I've listened to him. I've heard his discussions about ICC and other things. So I follow him. So I know about him. So thank you for being here. At least we have a reasonable mind, even from our nearby border. So I have 2 questions for you, Mr. Matsanga.
Yes.
Question number 1, you are aware that our president and the deputy president, they are in crossroads. They don't, based on what is happening, is our president and the deputy president, they do not have good relationship, and we have been having a lot of problems in implementing key projects because of opposition within the government. So the question which I want to ask you is, what do you think is, because you know currently in Kenya, the deputy president and the president have to vie in a joint ticket. So what do you think, so that we prevent such a working relationship hitch in the future, what do you think Kenyans need to do so that we can ensure that we have a good relation between the president and the deputy president throughout their whole term? Because currently our deputy president is not working well with the president, and he cannot resign because the claim is that they were elected together. That is question number 1. Then question number 2 is, you have talked about these fundings which are happening, and some of the fundings which are actually used to destabilize the world. My question is, how can Kenyans be able to know how illegal funding is coming into their country, and how can we be able to know some of the people who are vying for presidential seat and are using illegal money to come and give us so that we vote them? And lastly, how do you think the deputy president is going to fare in the 2022 election, knowing the fact that the president has endorsed Mr. Raila Odinga, and majority of the key government infrastructure will not work with him? So can you try to explain to us which system is the deputy president going to use so that he can assemble a machinery which can defeat the government, as he says, in 2022? Although he is even coming here in the US to cry that the government wants to rig his election. So can you try to explain to us how is the deputy president going to campaign against a tide where almost everybody is against him, and he is not having a lot of support, and the president might make him even lose the key support he has in the Central and Rift Valley? Thank you.
I start with the last question. The deputy president, your constitution is a very dangerous constitution. It is a constitution that was cut and pasted. If I were a Kenyan, I would ask for this constitution to be overhauled so that a president can choose a good running mate. That the president has the powers to choose his deputy who will work with him, like in the United States of America and other places. That's why countries like the UK have refused to have a deputy. Have you ever heard of a deputy prime minister in the United Kingdom? You don't see. The deputy prime minister in the UK is not official. It is known that in case Boris goes away, someone will handle, but they have not. If I ever take power in Africa one day anywhere, the first position I will abolish is the position of a deputy president. Because all the problems, all the military coups in Africa, let me tell you, gentlemen, come from our deputy against the president. From Zimbabwe, you saw Mnangagwa overthrew. Was Mnangagwa not a deputy? Lowassa in Tanzania and Magufuli, they were not seeing eye to eye. Chikwera, Mutharika, Kabila, Tshisekedi. Look at all, Riek Machar and Salva Kiir, deputy president versus the president. So the position of a deputy president in Africa is very dangerous because we have not matured in terms of politics and the social structures that are in Minnesota. In Minnesota, you can call me stupid and I walk around and I say, thank you very much. But in Africa and Uganda, if you call me stupid, I'll get a stone to beat you. I will say, you have hit me, you have insulted me so much. But my brother in Minnesota will tell you, the word stupid is normal in America, isn't it? They even called the president Trump a stupid man, an idiot. But here, our democracy, the constitution was not made for Kenya. That's one point. Another question that you asked, relationship between Uhuru and Mr. RUTO. The relationship is, of course, not very good, and I don't think it will change. I don't think so. It is gone. It is gone down the sea. Let's forget it. Let's think about something else. I don't think we can bring it back because the president has stomached too much. It's beyond repair. You need on the BBI. He even told us that he destroyed the BBI. Did you know that? The man said, yes, we made sure that the BBI does not pass. So that relationship with Njiru will not work. We can't bring it together. Kenya will remain as it is. The last one is, I think, the endorsement of Raila Amolo Odinga, which you made very clear, and I agree. Most of us have endorsed Raila in our hearts. There is no other candidate here I can see now who can hold this country maturely together. Rigathi is making noise because he put his money and he has lost his money. That's as Alex was saying. His money is gone. The guy is not happy. And when they come back for nominations, you will see a lot of changes. Changes will be there. And the law now is that you don't move from one party after you have failed nomination here. So people are being very cagey, very serious. They are seeing what can happen. And that is the way I think. But as far as Kenya is concerned, unite, seek yourselves, sit down. Some of us have gone through so many difficulties that I can't explain to you today. Some of us have lived in exile more than 37 years. We are still here because our conditions at home are still fragile. You can't sit and talk like my brother in Minnesota. So we shall continue to be like that. The suffering continues, and we are still here. That's all I can say. I don't know who is now the moderator here, Mr. Wekesa.
Thank you for answering that. I think we will go to Mkenya. Mkenya, you're next. Oh, Wekesa, you're back. So, but it looks like Mkenya went, so we will bring Dan. Dan, you can have your question now.
I don't have a question for him. Just following what he's really talking about. I'm very ignorant because I haven't encountered him, so I haven't heard from him. This is my first time listening from him. So you allow me just to listen for today as I listen.
I'll be coming more times so that you hear me. I'm the real fireman.
Wekesa, you can take over. Maggie is here.
Okay,
I
Maggie,
part
how are you?
2. Yeah, fine.
Maggie, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
We are good. Huh? Have you been following Dr. Masangi today? If not today, I think if you have a question for him, you can ask.
I got him in the middle, but Dr. Masangi, I don't know whether I call you a two-faced person, because I remember in 2013, you were so much against our Baba. When Ruto were taking power, and you could call our Baba names, and today Baba is God, and I don't know what. Anyway, according to myself, I don't like two faces, because Dr. Masangi, I followed you for a long time actually. This is not the first time I'm hearing you today. Baba has got praises from you. And those days, Baba was, I don't know what, he should retire, and what. You said so many odd things. And today, you are in what? In our
in praise, Mom,
panel.
I am in praise. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
The question is, you are a Ugandan.
Yes.
Actually, you don't do that to Ugandans, but you are doing that to Kenyans, and it is annoying. And to somebody like me, it's annoying. Why do you have two faces in Kenya? Why not Uganda? Yeah, that's very absurd. It's quite absurd, my dear. Yeah, just have one face. If you're following Raila, let it be Raila. If you're following Ruto, let it be Ruto. Not today, 2013, you are a different person who even said in Citizen TV, I was watching you right like this, and you said Raila that man is old and he doesn't have any agenda, ideas, blah, 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 so many things. And today, you are denouncing Ruto. That's quite absurd. In fact, you should leave all this you are putting across to Kenyans, and you do it in Uganda. Thank you, Alex, for giving me that chance. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Matsanga will have an opportunity to say something about that. Matsanga, are you two-faced? Why are you doing this to Kenya, not Uganda?
Yeah.
No, then Uhuru should be two-faced. That's
Uhuru should be two. Okay, let me tell him
if
then.
I am
Maggie, just give him time to. Maggie, give him time to elaborate.
Alex, can I explain to my sister Maggie?
Sure, go ahead, Dr.
In 2013, from 2009, let me go back. I know Raila from 1982. I don't know whether you were born. I was a soldier and working in Nairo Marshals when the coup took place in Kenya. I won't say details here. I'll keep quiet. For another day, when we meet face to face, I'll tell you. And for you to call me two-faced is not very right. I'm not two-faced. I am single-faced, like Raila. Raila is also has supported so many people whom he criticized a long time ago. Would you think Raila would have supported Uhuru? Or would you think Raila would have said, Moi is very good? I didn't imprison Raila. I only disagreed with Raila by saying, you are an elder, it's a younger man. And I have since then, like when the handshake took place, Alex, I shook hands. When they shook hands, we also shook hands. But if you are carrying the burden to me that because I am a Ugandan, you want a white man to come and tell you that Ruto is a thief, then it is stupid. I am a black man who comes from the border here, who has given people land in my country, and they are there who are refugees. You are not a refugee, but they are refugees in Uganda. So I have a right to talk about Kenyan issues because you reproduce refugees to come to my place. But if you don't want me to speak about it, it is your direction, your opinion, but I am allowed.
I think Mr.
Bwana
Matsanga, you really
Matsanga, I think don't answer that question. Don't answer that question.
Jiru, you are out of order. Jiru, you are out of order.
I think maybe if I got Kasanga very well, the people who are on the ballot is Raila and Ruto. Last time he was comparing Raila and Uhuru.
Yes.
And so when the candidates change, you choose between the two candidates. Maybe between Uhuru and Raila, he preferred Uhuru. But now between Uhuru and Ruto and Raila, he prefers Raila. So I think many things have changed, and all of us are in that mix. Majority of us maybe didn't support Uhuru 2013, and we never even voted for him 2017. But right now we are singing about his development 2022. Because in politics now, all the majority of guys who are in NASA are right now in Azimio. Some have crossed to KKA. So there is a mix there. I don't think there is someone you can say he's not consistent. Look at people like Kin Mudavadi. A few days ago, he was singing negative things about Ruto, and then right now he's the one praising him and taking him all over the world.
So when Maggie came, you know, we have been listening to Daktari since the show started, and Daktari did say from the beginning the reason why he took center stage, especially in the politics of Kenya, is before ICC came to Kenya, it had already gone to Uganda, and he had seen the division between the Bantus and the Nilotes and how it divided its people. So when he came to salvage Uhuru and Ruto, it was not because he loved them as people, because he saw what ICC can do to our country. That was his preambles at first. And secondly, he also opined that they have been with Raila in the exile for a very long time. But something superseded the presidency of Raila that time. It was the ICC. The purpose of ICC to come to Kenya was not to give us justice. It was to divide and create a different country. That is according to him. So at that particular time, something superseded the presidency of Raila, and that was ICC. And I'll tell you, Maggie, many of our brothers in Central and also in Rift Valley did not vote for the duo because of their manifesto. They wanted them to get out of ICC, and that is what I think you did not listen from the very beginning. That is how he started.
Yeah, Alex, and please let's stop identity politics. This idea of people coming here and saying that you are from Uganda, that one is, I don't know what is it. Let people come here, they say their point, but stop attacking people from where they come from. We can even listen from people from Senegal here. So those ideas of people saying you're from Uganda is a waste of time. It's annoying.
That is true. And all of us, actually, when there was election in Uganda, most of us were supporting either the other, anaitwa nani?
Bobby Wine.
Bobby Wine, and some were supporting Museveni. In America, some of us were diehards of Joe Biden and some were diehards of Trump. So we belong in a global village. Let everybody participate. The only thing is he cannot vote, but he will convince you that this is the right person. You can vote for him. So let's not play that card. We are all...
And Maggie, I wish you could have listened to the details of ICC he gave in regard to the case and how things went. That was the most important thing, because we started the show by asking, I think that's what Kesa asked, you have heard, we
Sorry,
heard
I
you
came
on
late.
Facebook saying
I'm
that
sorry then, because I came
67,
late.
Maggie, wait a minute. The reason why we brought him here is because we saw him on the social media saying that RUTO has been, name has been mentioned 67 times. And then he concluded that that's very dangerous. That was the preamble of this conversation. And I think he has explained it elaborately. So the center stage was not even him about the Kenyan politics. It was the statement he issued, and he married it with what Atuoli said. Though he speaks like Atuoli, but he married what Atuoli said, his name might not be in the ballot box. So we were questioning that, and I think he has explained that. And you don't have to be sorry, because this is politics.
Alex, achaneni na story ya either Uganda, Kenya na ama nini. Matsanga the last time he was supporting Uhuru and Ruto. In fact, I was so much against him, but the guy now is supporting Raila, and I support him too, because politics is always dynamic. Unless you don't understand politics, that's when you can say someone is from Uganda, someone is from which country. That is neither here nor there. We have many people from other countries who comment about Kenyan politics, and Matsanga being one of them. I think we brought in the right guy. So please, can you continue the questions? Achana na hiyo story ya country.
Anyway, Mr. Mutembei and Alex, I have given a disclaimer. I am Paul. I'm Saul. I could be Saul and turning into Paul. So I told you that Maggie, go and read Philippians chapter 3 and 4. You will find my heart there. That's all I can tell you. And then you'll know why Uhuru Kenyatta, who did not like to see Raila, is with him today. Then crucify me. But I'm Paul writing to you, Philippians chapter 3 and chapter 3 and 4. Go and read the letter to the Philippians. I'm a Gentile preaching to the Jews. I've not bought an identity card in Kenya. You'll never find that I've gone to get one fraudulently. Like some leaders that I have seen who want to be in Nairobi senatorials. I know them. My name is Matsanga from the mountains of Uganda, born by a mother Imugisu, a father Imugisu. In 1955, 23rd October, I landed on Earth at 3:30 p.m. in Uchigai dispensary. If you have any queries, ask.
Thank you, Daktari, for that. And let's continue with the question. We are having a very robust debate here and question and answer. And Nakitare, I saw you laugh.
Hey, Alex, thank you very much. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Hey, Dr. Matsanga, I think you and I were related, although we just are neighbors, because you're a Mugisu, I'm a Bukusu, so we are neighbors, okay?
Exactly.
So you're Kenyan, because I've got some of my families were Gisu. And
Wabukara, Bishop Wabukara comes from my clan.
Exactly.
Then you call me a foreigner. Why is your bishop? Okay. Why was Bishop Wabukara a bishop of Kenya? Where Maggie? Why didn't you tell him that you are Ugandan?
That's okay. That's okay. Okay. All right. I welcome you so much because you're my blood also. However, I've got a question for you.
Let's seduce her slowly.
Okay, Dr. Matsanga, I've got a question for you. Yes. I came in late, and you are talking about the sorrow factor in the Kenyan politics. And I believe if I got it right, Ruto and Mudavadi came actually to follow up the funds from Soro. But I'm wondering, why didn't they give Ruto the presidential kind of reception, even meeting Biden? And we know very well, Soro is a #1 supporter of the present Democratic government. He's been supporting Democratic Party forever. Is there any game changing here?
But he has already answered that. Were you here?
I was not here. That's why I came in late.
He has already answered that, and I think we will go to another. He has already answered that in depth. That was my question. He has spent like 20 minutes answering it.
Okay, I'm sorry then. I'm very sorry.
So
Now,
Jared,
the misinterpretation here, Alex.
Yes.
Did I hear you say they gave RUTO a presidential what?
No, he asked why. Okay, he asked the reason why the DP hasn't received presidential whatever, and then since Soros gave Biden a lot of support to be a president.
Because he's on a restrictive visa. He came out of the airport in a normal wakaida kila mtu kaida, even the dogs come through there. When you have a dog from the plane, it comes through there. So that is how RUTO came in a normal public exit. Mr. You have been coming from Kenya to JFK and Washington, isn't it? Or you go to Minnesota State. There's a diplomatic where nobody sees you. They don't see the head of state. They don't see the deputy. If you have come with a diplomatic passport, but he didn't, his passport is diplomatic, but the visa is restrictive. Therefore, the ambassador just picked him from the crowd of the people from, and the only thing that he did not carry is his suitcase rolling back. But he was picked locally, local, like anybody here. Like the way Matsanga comes out of JKA with his suitcase.
Okay, Alex, forgive me. Dr. Matsanga.
Yes.
So you answered that. I'm sorry, I'll withdraw that question. But my next question is that the connections of Soros with the Kenyan politics is well known out here. Dr. Ndi, who is a supporter of RUTO, he's the go-in between Soros and RUTO.
Yes.
Because so Mudavadi is a small element. Mudavadi has got that clout of reaching Soros. So Dr. Ndi is doing this. What do you think, Dr. Ndi? What position, what role will Dr. Ndi play in RUTO's government?
He's playing a very big role because he has even introduced a bottom-up. So a theory that has never been there in any books. Show me one theory in books called bottom-up. I've read the books of Adam Smith. You have read books of Adam Smith, my brother. Everybody has read Adam Smith. Do you see any theory of bottom-up? Where is it? This is something that was created to make sure that the poor use poverty and the violence to make Kenyans fear you and vote for you. That's what they have succeeded doing. And that is what we should undo in the remaining 5 months. Raila Amolo Odinga should not waste time on Kalonzo. Raila Amolo Odinga should hit the ground and we go. As we are going now, we help and we win the vote so that this country does not go to the dogs.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That answers my question. However, I can tell you this time the politics is different. We are talking about the bottom-up type of government, which has never worked anyway. He's forgetting the middle class. No,
is there middle Nakitare? Is there a middle class in Africa or they are thieves?
They're extremes already. They are not the extremes. They're the rich and the poor.
Nakitare, is there a agree with me that there is no middle class in Africa? There is a leading class in Africa.
Dr. Songa, in our own definition, we have got a middle class you don't understand. The working people in Kenya are middle class. The one who lives in Mathare is the ones who the bottom down. So our middle class is from our own definition. You cannot define a middle class vis-a-vis America or England or London or British. We have got our middle class. These are the working people.
Okay, Nakitare, you misuse those words. Because the middle class in Africa is a thieving class, which has stolen either from the government or from you, the people.
No, the ones who have stolen are the extreme rich to that standard.
No.
E.g., RUTO. E.g., you know what I'm talking about? I'm giving you our own definition for our own standard.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me, Nakitale, let me listen to you. Let me agree that there are
thank
some.
you guys. It's good you have agreed.
Okay. Thank you. Let's have someone else ask a question. Gerard has been, your hand has been up. Thank you.
Thank you. I was giving others to ask. You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I've watched several times for a long time, Dr. Matsanga. But you have helped me to understand what made you support, be a very good supporter of RUTO. I was also in Baba, so it was very disappointing. But there is one thing I've got it from you, and it's not about even the individual, it's about the country. And there is a time the country comes before any person. And you have explained very well that at that moment, whether it was Baba, but at that moment, we needed to save the country by saving the two from ICC. And you have gone ahead. I know you have a very good praises for your friend Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who was also not a very fan of mine. But as time had gone by and trying to study the man, I've come to find that that's a man who we will miss someday, because he's a little gentleman. If you come to understand about who Muigai Kenyatta, who he is. With all of these things, I was in another panel. I was telling them that if there is a time, I would have liked him to break the law and withdraw all the security from RUTO. It's now, because it was very embarrassing for going to say what he was saying about the government he leads. But nonetheless, Uhuru being a nice person, he will leave him to come back and just watch him to continue doing what he's doing. And one thing you have said, it's not about Raila in this election. There is also something which is on the table. It's the country. The country which we don't want it to go to the dogs. And I wish people would understand that. And if there is something they need to take, is to take that there is a time, not your brother, not your father, or your son or daughter. It is about the country. We want the country to be there for us to live tomorrow. Sometimes we take it for granted. Dr. David Matsanga has been a refugee in our country. He understands what happens in your country if democracy is not there. So when he tells us that he would rather have Kenya continue for generations, he knows what those countries, what those who come from Somalia, if you talk to them, they will tell you what a wonderful country we have. And those are the people who are telling you, don't take your country into the dogs. The country want to be captured by the Soros. So we need to come together, and that's why Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has seen that what do I leave a country? He is still young. He needs to leave a country. If the country turns to be Somalia or somewhere, even if he has money anyway, he's not going to leave that country. He will have to go somewhere. So that is the point I've got, and it was good that I got that very clear from you, and I wish that people will take that one. Lastly, what I could have said to my sister, which I think is left, I was going to ask Wekesa to put a clip of Mandago so that she would understand what politics she need to do. She need not to put that one into the ad, to put in the lungs. Thank you very much for enlightening us. I was looking from a different way. I was actually talking to people. I was saying, does this man think that ICC might go another way? He's trying to buy sympathy so that he can get asylum in America. That's the route I was thinking from. But now that you have given another thinking I'm going to do some research on that so that I can enlighten myself more on this Solos thing. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, he's using, Wekesa is using Doha as a holding point for smuggling in money.
Thank you. Let's have.
Wekesa, have you heard the point? I'm honest.
Yes.
When they come, the evangelical churches will send wire money to Doha, Qatar. You know there is no much seeing here and there. Then from there, my friend from Minnesota knows the Somali warriors. What are they called? Waha. What are those money transfer systems? Wala, something. You know it in Minnesota. Yes. Yes, they use them. The money will arrive here. They had no money. By the time RUTO left here, his money was impounded. The last one was impounded at the airport from Mr. Bowen, Kemboy, William Kemboy. He said he had gone to buy, he had exported beef in Burundi. Burundi said, we don't even have that beef here. The money was finished. So he had to get money. That's the truth.
Thank you. Let's have.
I'm not an intelligence officer in Kenya. I'm not a police, but I am an investigative journalist. I've followed George Soros, and for all these years since 2002 up to today, I can know what he's going to eat tonight.
Thank you. Let's have Mala. How are you?
Any more questions? Otherwise, if the questions are finished, then I go sleep.
Yamala, you have a question?
Yes, Wekesa.
Yeah, kindly make your give your question or make your submission.
I don't have much. I was listening to this guy called Nyakorach.
Matsanga.
This Nyakorach.
Yes.
I think he changes tide. I think I had read about this guy, and I wanted to understand him more, even before I listened to what he's telling us. And from what I know, I think he was telling us, he was saying, according to what I saw, when I was just trying to understand the fellow, is that he was born in a place called Budunda. Those are from Mbale district in Uganda. And I wanted to find out why did he, because he fled Uganda in 1986 when Yoweri Museveni came to power.
85.
In 1986, is it 85?
85.
And at one time,
I am myself on the show.
Oh, 85, 85.
Don't misinterpret me. 85, yes.
Yes, and at one time, I used to understand this guy was a spokesman of a funny character, the LRA leader, Joseph Kony.
Yes.
So I need to understand this fellow.
Yes. What do you want to know?
So were you a rebel?
No. Yes, I've been a fighter since 1978. When were you born?
I am talking. You had your time.
Yes, I'm also asking you. I have been a rebel since 1978 fighting Idi Amin. When were you born?
Okay, let's continue first. I'll tell you when I was born.
Yeah, no, you tell me because I am here myself. You don't need to go to a case. I will answer you myself because I can manage you.
No. I want to understand you first.
No, I have told you.
Then you can ask me questions.
Yes, I am a soldier. 2, I have been fighting for freedom like Raila was fighting for freedom. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yes, and let me understand you.
Yes.
Because you're saying you went to Shikuyu Primary School.
No, that is, you say, or you are saying, you are reading what you have seen on internet.
I am not reading, I'm just telling you.
No.
There's nothing I'm reading.
Your questioning does not have morality.
Mala,
asking me about.
Yes, I want to understand this guy.
It is what
interrogation here, Mala. Wait, Alex, wait. Dr. Matsanga, wait. This is the point. Each and everyone, you are allowed to ask either 1, 2, 3 questions, not to interview the guest.
I've been
interviewed. So ask your question whether it's 1 or 2, then another person, he answers you, we go to the next person, not to interview the guest. Kindly.
But you see, I have listened to the guy, and before I believe what he's saying.
Ask your question, if it's 1 or 2, find out which one is the major thing you want to know. One or 2 things. Then we go to the next person.
Yes. You are giving this man a hard time. He asked a very simple question. He wants to understand Dr. David Matsanga. Tell him, go to YouTube and search Dr. David Matsanga and you will understand him. It's simple. This is a simple answer. Now, do you have another question? We move on.
What has been... No, but my brother, maybe you have another problem. Did I steal your wife?
I have not reached there.
Okay.
No, because
and maybe
do I have a problem with you? I don't know you, first of all. So
very interesting.
I am at yours. I agree to be on your show, and I am not a man who refuses to take questions, but let the people ask questions.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, we want credible questions that each and every person listening can follow, not personal questions. So let's have Wangira also to ask a question.
I think, Mr. Ekesa, there you are going wrong. Because any question here is credible because we are in the mood of campaigns and we really must make Kenya right. So any question is credible.
Yeah, but we are guided by the topic.
They're incredible questions.
When I bring here people, I have the topic that I'm working with.
But
Mr. how can we rather restrict ourselves from the topic? You cannot ask each and every other question you want. Let the question build the topic we are dealing with, kindly. Otherwise, we can have a discussion that heads nowhere. I would appreciate if you ask the question from his submission, and Alex asked the question from his submission, Jared and the rest. So why is he coming and asking personal questions?
Hello, Ekesa, I just joined. What's the topic about? Ekesa, who is next?
Scrolling. The topic is scrolling kindly. Wangira, ask your question.
How are you, Mr. David Matsanga?
Fine.
I have 2 or 3 questions for you, Mr. Yes. David Matsanga.
Yes.
Question number 1. I remember during especially the 2013 presidential elections in this Republic of Kenya, you were so much against the man I've all along supported. This man is called Raila Odinga.
Yes.
What has really changed that you are now supporting Raila Odinga? That is my question number 1. My question number 2 is, I would like to know what really motivates you to get so interested into the Kenyan political and public affairs. in the public affairs. What really motivates you to get into the Kenyan political and public affairs? What is this thing that really motivates you? And my final question would be, why are we not seeing you directing the same energy, for example, towards the Republic of Rwanda, a country that we know is under the dictatorship of Paul Kagame, or perhaps the country of Tanzania, which since 2014 has been struggling to get a new constitution, or perhaps your own country of Uganda? Those are my questions, Mr. David Matsanga.
Yeah, those are not personal questions, so I'll answer them.
In fact, I asked the same. The
No, I
interest is
think,
one. Thank you.
Wekesa, can I be protected from somebody who was hidden under her bed? And wants to ask me questions. I will answer Wangira's questions. But someone like that one who was hidden under her bed, I'm not going to answer.
Yeah, proceed. And that's the last question we are you're asking, and you make your conclusion remarks.
What changed is the spirit of forgiveness and reconciliation, which Raila and Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta displayed. When they displayed that spirit of togetherness, of reconciliation, I had nobody in the world, except those who are not sincere, can see two people who had been shouting and fighting on the other side coming together, can turn around and also continue to oppose them. So when they changed the situation, you know very well I've given my background, my history on how I arrived in Kenya. In 2010, it was impossible to talk in favor of Uhuru Kenyatta or Campus 6. Kenyans feared to talk about it. But I saw the mess that the country was going to go into. And I started speaking frankly on television and the radio stations and telling you that Ocampo finished us in Uganda, confused us, charged only Luo commanders and left Bantu commanders. If you are not careful, you will do the same and your country will go to chaos. So when I see Raila Odinga shaking hands with President Uhuru Kenyatta, I don't want to lie to you. I'm a friend of Uhuru Kenyatta. That's the truth. And he's listening. He's going to watch this clip. He won't say I'm not his friend. I'm his friend. And I did not buy that friendship. I did not give him money to be my friend. No, he just liked me when we were on the 6th in court on the first day. When he saw me in the gallery amongst his family, apart from the wife, the mother and the others who were in court, I was number 7. I think from there he picked friendship. He said, this man is determined. You remember when the ICC cases started, people feared even going to the ICC. Alex, you know that very well. People feared going there, but I was there. I was there. ICC never liked me. But you cannot do that. You can't do anything to Matsanga in Europe, anywhere, because I'm also European. By the way, some of you think that I'm a refugee here. I have never applied for refugee status in Kenya. Never. I'm also like Mr. Alex there. I don't know whether Alex is a student. I'm also a national of those countries. Please. That gives me the motivation. 2, you ask about the motivation. Boss, I have gone to school. Hello? I went and hammered school number 1, school number 2, school number 3. You think I should not talk about Africa? I'm motivated. The subject that is working around in Africa is political science. And I know Luya. I'm a Luya. I speak. I'm a Bukusu. where the Bukusu come from is where I come from. They come from my clan. If I take off my trouser and kneel down, Mudavadi will just start urinating on his bed. I'm an editor. If you didn't know, Mr. Wangira, know it today. If I take off my trouser and walk and name the name and say the name only and the people see me, Mudavadi will start urinating. Because there is an African tradition. Editors are editors. You will not change my age. You can criticize me and call me all the names, but you won't have my age if you are not careful. The third point you made, why? I think you asked why not. Is it why? Why now? What is the third point you made?
I was asking, why are you not directing the same energy that you're directing towards Kenya, towards perhaps Rwanda, Tanzania, or Uganda, your home country?
Baba, I am 67 years old. I have been a soldier fighting since 1978. My firstborn, Miriam, is 43. I have 11 wajukus, 11 grandchildren. Now my firstborn, my secondborn is 41. My thirdborn is 39. It goes like that in the range. My lastborn is 22, doing a master's degree in King's College in London. Surely, up to now, Wekesa, and the panel, you want me to continue a fight when my children can do this better for me? Then you people, the younger generation, are saying, you give us space. I want now to shock all of you, including the gentleman who was asking me questions. The only constituency in Uganda, the only one, and go and check Wekesa, the only man who wins a constituency when he's 10,000 miles away. Do you know the man? Do you know him? This is the guy. This is the guy. Do you know the only constituency in Uganda politics which gave Bob Wine votes, and I repeat, is my home? Wekesa, you know Nambeshi. The MP, the leader, the MP, Nambeshi is my cousin. You cannot pass there without my authority. And I'm telling you authoritatively, I've won that constituency for 37 years. If you don't agree with Matsanga, you don't win that constituency. I'm the only one who gave Bob Wine outside the Buganda region. The only constituency that gave Bob Wine votes with a red color is where Matsanga, this man speaking, you is talking, came from. And where I come from. My mother voted the way I wanted. My brother, cousin brother, is the MP, the chief whip of opposition. Is there. Nambeshi. You can ask him. Nakitare, you know it. You know relationship. Go and ask him. He is my cousin. You cannot win a seat without Matsanga saying that constituency. Now my children have reached the age to go to parliament. You still want me to fight over what? When I was fighting and trying to bring democracy to Uganda, Ugandans insulted me. And they said, I'm a warmonger. Wekesa, do you know what I did? I folded my hands, like Raila folded his hands, and I said, let's go. For the first time I arrived in Kampala, Wagira, you know you are asking, I know you know why you're asking. I arrived in Kampala under UN escort, Mr. Alex and Wekesa. UN escort and the UN soldiers. The plane was hired for me. I was the chief negotiator of the peace that you see in Uganda. I arrived with Chisano, with Riak. For the first time in 23 years, I saw Museveni and we sat down face to face. We talked without even shaking hands. In his own house, State House. Then later on, Chisano and Chikwete said, no, Matsanga, you can't leave this place without shaking your hand with the president of Uganda. You have to give us respect and shake the hands. You people, we have now finished the other problem. Can you do Matsanga and Museveni shake hands? I told them for 30 minutes, I'm not going to do that. They asked me why. I have lost a wife.
Oh, so David Matsanga, before perhaps you, because they have said this is the last part of the session, I want to make a personal request to you, because perhaps this is the only forum that I've found you.
Yes.
I've written my book. My book is called the East Africa and the East African Dream: A Critical Analysis. And my book dwells so much on the issues of democracy in East Africa and matters of the rule of law within East Africa. It is a manuscript of around 800 pages. So I'm looking for a guy who can do for me a good forward for this particular book, which I plan to put out by the end of the year. So I'll be making a request to you if you can do a forward for this good book of mine.
Oh yes, oh yes. English, the Shakespearean English I have. I'll do it. I have Shakespearean English. Don't worry, I am ready. Wekesa and Mr. Mutembei, the other guy, will give you my phone number. We can sit down. I'll write what you want. I'll paraphrase it. I am a man who read that subject. It is in my blood. I'll deliver it to you. But finally, what I'm saying, now my children have grown. Jermaine, you people in Kenya say, give way to the younger people. I have given way to the younger generation, because when I started fighting for freedom in Uganda, Bob Wine was not born. Was not born at all. So now he's born and he's able to take over. Why should I stick around? Isn't it? That's what I've done. And two, since I shook hands with Museveni, Wekesa will tell you that in our Luya community, once you shake hands, you don't come back with a fist. Wekesa, am I wrong?
Kosawa.
When you shake a hand in Luya community as a Luya, a Mugisu like me, when I've shaken your hand, I don't come back with boxes. That's the end. I shook hands with Museveni in 2008, and we said two bulls cannot live in one crowd. Two bulls cannot live in one crowd. I'll live where I live. Kenya is my place of work.
So Dr. Matsanga, having said that, what is the future of Bobby Wines, given the fact that now you have a handshake with Museveni? And
I had 2008. Not now. Before Bob Wine came to power, I had a handshake after bringing the rebels on the table. I signed 5 agreements. I took them, 7 signed. The next agreement I was going to take on 14th. The Americans bombed the place before I could arrive there. So I brought peace. Wekesa, you have been going to Uganda, and I'm told you have some relatives up there. You hear Northern Uganda is as peaceful as the waters of river, of calm seas. very calm. You can sleep outside without anybody touching you. I brought that peace. And that peace is holding today.
So what is the future of Bobby Wine as an opposition leader?
I think the type of opposition in Africa where you come and say, Museveni has done nothing. You know very well you live in America, nobody can believe you. You have to say he has done something, but he is wrong here.
Okay.
The human rights is not good. That is true. And, but the other things that I've done very well, the water. For example, I have water in a mountainous place.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Matsanga. I wanted to give your parting shot and the view of Kenya in the remaining 5 months, the things you expect are going to happen in the political scenario as the coalitions are forming. For the viewers and the panelists, Dr. Matsanga is not ending his interview today. He will, we will find that more other times he will be coming, so that in this high peak, political high peak season, we may get informed. So we may not exhaust everything we wanted to ask him, but we will still have him another time. So I want him to give us his parting shots in line to what we have been discussing. And we will call it a night. For those who are still interested in the debate, there's a debate going on hosted by Bernard, so you can just switch off the link and continue. But for this special program, it has to end here. Thank you.
So I make my remarks. Okay.
Yeah, you make your final remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, viewers across the globe watching, we have been here for the last almost 4 hours. We have exhausted and exhaustively discussed pertinent issues that affect Africa, East Africa, and Kenya in particular. Ours is to deliver, is to make a better place for ourselves, for the people, for the children of Africa. Our role is simple. I want to thank especially Jared. Jared, you have got a very nice house. I don't know. Is it in Kenya or something like that? Because I feel like, hello?
Just of course, I had given you that closer view, everybody to watch you as you give your last remarks. We are there at the backstage. Just
okay.
Finish
Thank you very much, Gerard. I liked your your house setting up. Your setup in the house is very fantastic. I want to thank Wekesa. I want to thank everybody who has actually been asking all the questions, who has been watching us for the last 4 hours. I have not exhaustively, maybe, but I've tried. The only message I want to leave with you Kenyans is learn to respect unity of purpose. Unity of purpose is the only vehicle that can lead a stable East African state. Unity of purpose, therefore, is the place where you can stay. And Azimio la Umoja, unity of purpose, is the only answer that you have. If you don't follow a redemption strategy, the elections that are coming might be useful if we followed it, and it might not be useful if we don't follow it. So for me, a peaceful election is very good for all countries in East Africa and Africa. And I hope the leaders the people will adhere to reconciliation and vote wisely, have a man who can lead this country for further generations. I thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you. God bless you.
Yeah, dear viewers, and that is where we are going to end our discussion. It was an exclusive discussion with Dr. Matsanga. He has given us insight to different issues pertaining to our nation. You see, you may not like Matsanga as the person, but actually the issues that he has conversed through are the issues are affecting this nation, and it's good to listen to different people so that come August 9th, you make an informed choice. He has a wealth of experience in matters to do with governance and politics. He has been through those political extreme challenges, and whatever he says, he speaks with authority because they are the things he has known and experienced. Is not the things he has read in the books, but he has interacted with even the brutal regimes, but he has managed to come out as someone who is still a patriot, loves his people, and wants to share the knowledge that he has so that we have a better society. So keep it here. We will continue bringing to you people who can have an input towards expanding our democratic space. Have a lovely night. There is another debate going on, hosted by Bernard. Good night all. Let's meet tomorrow for a different session. Thank you.